did as well. We traded a whole bunch of small cap gappers. Joseph killed it on SoFi. He was trading the market. Obviously, we're going to send you the big kahunas now. They're going to be looking at the overall market in these big tech names. I'll see everybody in 1 second on the green screen. But Joseph and I will see you guys tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. Peace.
How does Sharif plan to get from there to here in 1 second?
Let's rock.
You're not that quick, bro.
We're back
not
in
that
the building.
Fast. We're back. You're not. I don't care if you are him. You can't teleport yourself in 1 second. Don't be lying to people. Talking about we're over time. It doesn't matter. It's 2 o'clock. It's 2:03.
We're doing it live.
Yeah, we're doing it live, and there's no time restraints. Kind of like 4:40 is when Meta is probably going to report
my guy
tonight.
Randy over there.
I'm just saying.
He's looking up some
Randy's
cars.
always
I feel
chilling.
like he's looking up some cars. We
He
don't
needs a new
have that.
Porsche. Randy needs a
it's
new
poor
Porsche.
Andre over there, but I want to get the view of Randy sitting on the couch over here. Fabian's going to get it going.
He's hard at work.
As long as Randy doesn't mind. I mean, he's on his break.
Let Randy eat.
There he is. Hey, there he is. There he is. There's Sharif, Randy. There's this guy. All right. Let's hopefully no servers are on fire anywhere. Because,
We're probably good. Oh, did this get fact-checked by Fabian?
What was it?
Fabian just pulled up Statista. Whoops. Whatever, I'll accept.
This is like The Office, where you're like,
In a major upset, the most dangerous cities in the world are all in Mexico.
Oh, the most dangerous cities. Yeah, no, the south side of Chicago, I thought, was the highest murder
The problem
in the United States. Come on, we're not comparing
the problem
this
is
to Tijuana over
the second you're allowed to have Mexico, it kind of throws everything out the window. Clearly.
Is there a United States? No.
No, because look at these rates.
We need to.
This is like 140 per 100,000.
Look,
okay,
I've been to Chicago. It is.
It
is great.
Look, man, Chicago is. I love Chicago.
Yeah.
I love being in Chicago, man. If you've never been to Chi-Town, the deep dish, go watch the Cubs. It's unbelievable. Like it's a great city. What they've done with the lake shore is amazing as well. I got to make sure I'm in the chat for everybody here. But yeah, like U.S. per capita, people are saying it's D.C. I don't know if that's. I know it used to be D.C. I don't know if that's still true, but
well, whatever. I mean, I
don't know. You hear what's coming out of Chi-Town.
What is the?
Anyways, if you just want to come over here, someone
just don't ask Grok to take a picture to make AI pictures of me.
I won't.
So right into there, yeah, we do have that. I mean, NVIDIA's been a trip today, man. We're going to be green on it. We're going to be hella green on it, I should say. And it took patience, and it took a lot of mental fortitude to the point where I was talking about needing a doctor. I mean, we were short here, and even as this was happening, you guys remember I was taking profits, and then even as this was happening, I was like, this does not feel like the short that we thought it was, right? The market did not react to those numbers the way I think any of us thought it was going to. And then we just flipped long. We were using the 50-period moving average. There's the 200. This is where we left you guys. Oh, no, sorry. We left you guys at 11, which was right here, basically off the 200. Then we sloped up. We sat back down here around 1230, bought some more. And then we just said, just like Busta Rhymes, give me some more. It came right back into VWAP again, that exact same level. And we nailed it. Big time. So we're going to get out some more right now as we continue to go higher. I still have on about 2/3 of this trade right now. Out there at 106 in Park, 106.50, then out up here at 107 a bunch of times, and then when Moon, 107.25. So yeah, buddy. After what was a little bit of a rough go, trying to go short early, including this TQQ trade, we make it all back in spades. Right there. And look, man, it's tough. It's hard to be green some days, and just really happy. Oops, that's WW. Some days it's tough, some days it's easy. Today, tough day, I found like with the market. There's Weight Watcher, WW International. I just want to check this name out too. Down to 85 cents right now. So this is getting into supply zone area for WW International. But no, nothing on Intel today. All I traded was NVIDIA and the futures. And I'm not trying to trade too much over the midday just because I got to save some capital for now. And but you know what? The middle of the day is giving just as many opportunities. I mean, that's where
It's a different beast now.
yeah, it's almost like it doesn't matter what time of day it is. Like, this is actually the best looking trade, right off VWAP, boom, 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 boom. So it doesn't really matter what time of day as long as you have your plan and you go for it. I think the riskiest time to trade is the first 15 minutes and then the last 10 minutes.
I'd say the first 5.
Yeah. Either way, yeah. Either way. The first on the open, I think.
Yeah, the open, and then that last 10 with the imbalances, it goes either way. Like, if you're trading blind and the imbalances, you're in trouble, but I'll grant that. I think in the middle of the day, it's a different market than before. Like, my only good trade on Tesla came in the middle of the day after going 1 for 3 or 0 for 2 on it. Dutch cuts. Thoughts on AMD? I've seen this sentiment a couple of times. Because your question is thoughts on AMD being one of the stronger semis for a change. So the only caveat I'll say here for AMD, yes, it's the only one I think that I saw that went green. Like everything else, NVIDIA with its rally still down a couple of points. Micron's down 1.6%. SMCI obviously has 0%. SMCI has 0 chance of going green today. It was the strongest rally. Like, I shorted it a few times at the open and then was able to get it at 96, just sort of picking it, like waiting and picking your spots. But because it's been so much more beaten up, its relief rally days have been some of the best. There's no question about it. Like when AMD is catching a bid these days, it is absolute fire. But some of that has to do with that whole, if you're the most beaten up, there's just more room to go and there's a little bit less resistance. So yeah, impressive candle by AMD. And now that it is green, remember, 98.
Holy shit, there must be news.
Something hit
There's
here.
something going on. We are really smoking right now. The goods are in the building right there for NVIDIA. Uh-oh, Andre. Boom, right there. That's what we're doing right now. It's a big move up there for NVIDIA, man. The energy is back in the building, and we'll talk trades. There it goes, NVIDIA. Nice move back up there to the upside out of nowhere. So, yeah, we'll take that out, and now we'll see where we can go from there. But, wow. Oh, yeah. So right there, whenever you see... Yeah, okay, so Sharif just looking for us as Adara's...
U.S. reaches out to China recently.
Okay, U.S. and China news, finally. We get something that's actually moving the markets.
Yan, I can't pronounce that.
How come when Adara goes and gets a drink is like the only time we actually get news today? Like, look at that. That just spiked up huge right there. 19,460 to 19,580 and coming back in right now. So, Sharif, man, good move right there. We do take advantage of it. We're just getting excited, man. We're having a good time here. Again, we want to thank everybody for watching. We had tons of likes early. We're going to have tons of likes late. So let's keep it going, man. This is what we're doing here every single damn day. Thank you for watching, and let's throw it over. If we're ready,
I think we're good.
For the rundown.
Hey, guys.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, my bad. Welcome, everyone, to the Afternoon Rundown, the show where you decide what we talk about every afternoon. The big boys are hyped up. The market's moving back up. They're locked and they're loaded and they're ready to look at the tickers as decided by you. But the only way to get those tickers up there is to join Joe and I on the How to Trade Midday Show and get into that chat and vote for your favorite tickers every day. And you also got to be a subscriber in order to vote and engage with us. So make sure you're liking, subscribing, and sharing. Here's a look at the 4 major averages. They're all recovering well off their lows. The NQ's down 0.2%. The ES recovering a little bit higher than 0.5% in the negative right now, with the Russell 2000 faring the worst, down 0.92, and the Dow down a little bit less than 0.33%. So definitely not green, but certainly way higher than we were in the pre-market when we got that preliminary GDP data. The first ticker, as decided by you, a very negative name and continues to be that way. SMCI, Super Microcomputer, down over 14% as they did lower their company's preliminary guidance. Separately, there were multiple analyst agencies chiming in on this one today. Included among them is JP Morgan maintaining their neutral rating on SMCI, but lowering that price target, guys, just $3, down from 39 to 36.
Yeah, just first, I want to read that headline. Essentially, I put it in the chat. It was that the U.S. reaches out to China recently for tariff discussions. Now, it's who's reporting it. I'm I'm not making it up. I put it in the chat. I can't pronounce it properly. Maybe Adara can. But I think the key would be that it's being reported from China's side, which makes it distinctly different. Look, SMCI, you can say whatever you want about it being 14% to the downside. It is down 14%. I've only been shorted. There have been one to VWAP that was good, and then another double top that we got in here from like 31 to like 30. But mostly it's been an upward trend. So been able to make on it despite the fact that it's a clear, clean uptrend in SMCI. Preliminary numbers were not good, disappointing everything. The guidance was poor, the revenue was poor, but the market has bought it up today off of its support at 29.
Wow.
So for now, they're at least in the clear for a little bit here on SMCI. And sometimes this happens, right? You get out in front of it with the bad news, and everyone's like, yeah, I guess this is probably as bad as it can get, or maybe it's as bad as it can get for SMCI. So it's a pure recovery day, although a lot of the gap still to be filled in. I'm not shorting back at these. It worked shorting 31s again. This was the level that we wanted in the morning. But I don't think with this news that I want to be shorting off the top of this thing. Not now.
This NVIDIA is absolutely going ham right now, as many of these stocks are going to the upside. And yeah, so finally there, looks like, and imagine this is the move that's happening. It's not even that big of a move. It's just, look at what's happening with NVIDIA. Things are starting to get lifted right now based on like potential reaching out. What's going to happen to this market when there's some sort of something actually done? It's going to go ham.
20,800.
All right. We wrote down 30.25 short for SMCI, and we didn't trade it at all today. So down for as I said, I was focusing solely on NVIDIA. The 30.25 short was actually great right there. That's where it is, and it did fall back into 29.50 again before right now looking to take out the highs. I mean, no surprise here that SMCI is trying to go upside as the market does as well. NVIDIA is now $2 in the money off the reload, man. And we have done pretty darn good right there, going green here today net-wise. But there goes SMCI. I was going to say, you know what, to pick something up on that weakness, and I should have mentioned this earlier this morning, Dell, it's not a Dell problem, right? This is an SMCI issue, in my opinion.
Yep.
So Dell should have been probably picked up down there if you like the story behind Dell, Michael Dell and company. So they're having a nice day, not down nearly as much as SMCI. And again, just one of those names that caught some shrapnel off of SMCI. And Dell had really been cruising nicely to the upside, again, up to the, I mean, it hasn't been. I mean, most stocks look like this, but off of those lows, 70 to 95, almost in a straight line. And then we had that one dip down there yesterday, and then we're seeing what we're going to do today. I don't know why that shows green, that candle, but right now Dell down 3%. We'll see where it closes, but that would be another name. I would say look at Dell instead of SMCI if you're looking to maybe make a spot in the rack space and server side. So yeah, and again, there it is. It's SMCI, it's Dell, it's all good. And I'm going to still continue to focus on NVIDIA, which is the last name there. Let's get some Tesla. Tesla and weed, like, you know, you remember the Joe Rogan experience there? Let's go back over and see.
Seems like a
what up with that?
reasonable pairing to me.
Yeah, we'll compare them together, guys. Tesla definitely negative still on the day, down 4.11%. A couple of headlines today. This should have been good for Tesla. The Mexican president reportedly saying that the U.S. is easing off of tariffs on the auto sector, which is a step in the right direction. She says a recognition of the North American trade agreement. Separately, Elon Musk was present today at the cabinet meeting. President Donald Trump telling him, you're invited to stay as long as you want. You've done a fantastic job so far, guys.
Yeah, I mean, throw in this potential deal to the, hey, now we're starting to gear a little bit more with Elon possibly stepping away and focusing a little bit more on Tesla. I think that's a great sign. But the only reason, like the reason I'm out of the long, well, first of all, I didn't know that news was going to hit, but yesterday's low has been a resistance zone all day long on Tesla, like above the 280, going into that 280 and above the 280. It's just been a bit of a problem. And then remember the other thing with Tesla on that daily chart, we're also trying to break back above the 200 period moving average. It's the 290 level. So you've got this overhead resistance that it's been unable to buck. We fell from the 290. That 280 prior low seems like resistance. And what's weird is we talk about VWAP all the time, but VWAP hasn't been hit on at all on Tesla. Like it's bounced twice off 275 instead of the volume weighted average price. So if we pull back I'm looking down here at 275 for a reload. It doesn't mean I wouldn't take a shot if VWAP sets up, but at no point has there been a normal VWAP long here. Outside of one, I was in it, then it did set up. So 277 is VWAP. If it gets down there and consolidates or gives us a good setup, we'll go long. But 275 has been the spot. I'm a little bit wary about these guys because they haven't been able to break through that 200 period moving average, and it's been a bit of a brick wall. Everything else about it has been bullish. The way it got bought up from the bottom today with the rest of the market, the way it's holding the 220 has looked good. The talk that we're getting a potential deal, that's all positive signs, with the exception of us not breaking through this 200 period moving average.
It's the most dangerous cities in the United States are Memphis, Tennessee, followed by St. Louis. No. Memphis, Tennessee, 24.37 per 1,000.
Memphis?
Yeah, so this is aggravated assaults and murders. St. Louis, Missouri, Detroit, Birmingham, Alabama, and Baltimore.
Baltimore, Memphis is the one that gets
Chi-Town.
Well, if they trade Ja, then everything will be fine.
Right, yeah. Trade him to the Raptors. All right, what are we talking about? Oh, Tesla. I might buy a Tesla soon. All right, so down 4% right now. Tesla, again, I like the stock. I think that the news there with Elon, getting to choose sort of and getting that okay from Donald, that maybe his job is done and they're happy with him being there, but he's welcome to go back at any time. I think that's going to be eventually a good story for Tesla, right? And so, I think if you just look at a chart and pretend to know what's going on like I do, you've just bounced again off of a resistance. So right up here at 3 bills, 290, as you can see, that's the 200 period moving average. If you're long down here and you just had this gift given to you one more time, look, it happened right there, came back in, gave you another out, came back in, and is now screaming at you to possibly get this out. But we just saw the action that what we just heard there about China. Obviously, it didn't affect anything other than it seems like some of these chip names. The futures kind of just bumped up and now, assumed its normal stance. I'm surprised it didn't move up higher than that. So I thought like on China news or any kind of a deal, this name would also shoot higher, which it did a little bit. So yeah, again, I like the story there. I know something will get done with China eventually. So I think you just kind of bide your time here with Tesla. It's an AI company just as much as it would be a car company at this point. I think we've all discussed that over and over again. So yeah, I think you buy Tesla for the story and not necessarily for its leader right now. And the story is AI, infrastructure, the cabs, the Model 2, Q, whatever they're going to call it. I think there's a runway for Tesla to break through 300.
Yeah, speaking of EV names, VinFast closed 2024 with strong financial and operational performance, signaling big progress on its global EV journey. Q4 revenue reached $678 million US, up 70% year over year, 34% quarter over quarter, reflecting robust demand and improving sales execution. 97,000 EVs were delivered last year, including 53,000 in Q4 alone, a 192% increase year over year, underscoring traction across core and new markets. Progress on global expansion. 322 EV showrooms and 322 e-scooter showrooms now operational worldwide as of March 2025, including both VinFast-owned and dealer-operated locations. The green mobility ecosystem has continued deployment of V-Green charging infrastructure and growth of GSM electric ride-hailing services in key Asian markets to drive long-term EV adoption. Looking gorgeous driving among those. I don't know. Anytime I see the weaving in and out there, I'm just like, it'd be fun to shoot one of those ads. I'm just saying.
We are going to eventually. We have some ideas for all of that. I think Randy was.
V?
Yeah, Randy was talking. No one can hear. Can people hear that? No. Okay. So we go silent, and people were getting talked to from Fabian. But here's the VinFast chart right here. It actually doesn't. That bottom has been 250 up to 350, so it is on a nice way to the upside right there. Obviously, a lot of EV companies need to find their way, but it looks like VinFast now approaching the 50 period up to the 200. Let's see what happens here with VinFast up 1% today in a down market. So seems like a good day today for VFS. All right, Mr. Quads, let's go.
All right, guys. Weed, cannabis, marijuana, whatever you call it, it's moving up. Their stocks they're all moving to the high side here. Here's a look at the ETF MSOS, up a little bit lower than 11% on this headline. Trump's pick to lead the DEA, will look to reschedule marijuana, making it one of his top priorities on the job. So we'll have to see how weed goes from here.
Yeah, unfortunately, it went red. Like this morning when we were looking at this, after that headline, sorry, check that, this afternoon, it was during the midday, I popped over, I'm like, oh goodness, if it can catch a bid, CGC I'm looking at, if this can catch a bid over 150, that looks really good. Like there's your 150 top on the daily. I guess a 15-minute will show you better. Like if it can hold above yesterday's highs, I'm thinking this has a rally chance, maybe go another 10, 15%, see 160, 175. Instead, yeah, I hate to say it, this might be, maybe this is a fade. Although when it dropped under VWAP, it didn't do anything yesterday. I think you want to take a cue from MSOS. It's not the first time we've seen irrational exuberance only to be faded in this particular market. So, yeah, I'm disappointed. I thought this was much stronger in CGC. The MSOS chart looks a little bit better on the daily because you're getting that nice trend to the upside where you can buy dips off of support, and that looks fantastic. So, and maybe have a look at that instead. Disappointed. I thought CGC had a chance to squeeze today. Obviously, that's no longer looking like the case. But just keep in mind how far these do have to go for shorts to be like concerned. Like if you're short, like the shorts that are that are leaning on these things, they're probably not exactly quivering in their boots right now, as evidenced by any of these when you zoom out your daily chart. They're probably not worried till this gets like $4 or something like that.
Carry on. All right, SMG, Scott's Miracle-Gro. So I think just they're down today. I don't even know why they're down. Maybe I should look it up. Maybe they had earnings or something like that. But SMG, again, I remember looking at this name. Also, GRWG, Grow Generations brand, is another company here. So again, we'll wait to see. But like we know when marijuana got legalized around here, and I know at various other spots in the United States, there is a grow situation where you can have, I think it's like 4 plants or something like that per household around here is allowed. So, or maybe even more than that. Hopefully more. No, just joking. Yeah, Scott's Miracle-Gro could be another one of those plays that you look at there as like secondary play for marijuana. But I'm not sure why it's down 8%, so I do have to look at that. And the other one that I used to play in the same kind of thought was this Grow Generation Corp, which I'm not in this anymore, thank God. As you can see, I barely even know what's going on with it. This is another one, selling of the equipment, hydroponics and things like that. So again, some of these names have been so beat up, but if you're just looking to, maybe diversify your portfolio and don't want to hold, like I'm down 98% or so in most of the weed stocks that I hold, and I don't think they're coming back. So Grow Generation may be part of that as well, as you can see where it's come from, but just a little bit of a bump up over the last couple of days. So a name that you probably won't hear anybody else talk about, so I will. So that's GRWG, Grow Generations, and Scott's Miracle-Gro, a couple businesses there that could get some tailwinds from any marijuana bill or cannabis federal legalization, anything like that. So yeah, just a couple plays to keep in mind. Tell everybody you heard it here first. Or not. Beef?
SoFi?
SoFi, so good.
Well, it's not that good.
It's not back yet. You're right, Neil. Still down 6%. It had a good day yesterday. It reported earnings yesterday. A decent report. The main headline out of that report was they're getting back into the crypto business after getting out of it in 2023 to secure their bank charter. That was a requirement under the previous administration, no longer, though, under the current one. Today, we got several different analysts chiming in on SoFi Needham, reiterating their buy and maintaining that same $20 price target. UBS, however, maintaining their neutral rating, but boosting that price target, guys, from 14 up to 15.5.
Yeah, shout out to and appreciate the super chat here, DJ Gretzky. One thing's for sure, someone's not skipping leg day. Thank you. No,
I'm glad you noticed.
Yeah, you ain't talking about us, I don't think. Much love from Norway. Shout out to you. Appreciate all of our viewers. We love it from Norway as well. So thank you so much. Look, I want to say good things about SoFi. And that old 3-day rule, I think, still is applying today. I know it had a very good bounce off the low and $12, but a lot of things had great bounces. When the NASDAQ recovery looks like this, all the way back to the top, and SoFi's recovery looks like, I'll zoom it in, so for effect, looks like this, nowhere close to where we were pre-market highs, still 2.5%. I mean, look, it's a nice bounce, but it's not much of a bounce after earnings. It's holding on to this 50 period by a hair, which is what this is what I wanted to see, like calm down for a couple of days, hold the major moving averages here, and then I think it can be constructive. But the old pattern of SoFi having a good Q and then giving back right away, that's gone right back into fold. I never like a name like this if it just keeps on breaking the low. So for today, it's another break of the low. That it bounced matters a little bit, but it hasn't really gone past any reasonable resistance. So this is still in the penalty box for me, despite the bounce in SoFi. It turns out, like yesterday, when I looked like a tool for selling some before earnings in front of 13, it looks a little bit better now, but that was like an intentional trim because I felt like it could be really nasty had they missed. Thankfully, they didn't, because maybe they'd be down at like $10 by now.
I was just going to look at, SoFi. I thought today would be a better day for SoFi. We sort of mentioned that yesterday. I thought that it was a decent report. We looked at the report and it was good. So that's where you get, one way going, the other way, not so hot. I wonder if the same thing's going to happen to Robinhood. So, and I know SoFi is a bank, Robinhood is not. I understand that Robinhood is much beloved, SoFi is not. I just worry that if they do have a good quarter, will it suffer the same fate? So Robinhood's implied move, actually Robinhood goes tonight. So I'm actually going to call it up. Adara always does such a great job of letting us know what's going on. The implied move 12 right now, 12% for Robinhood. So if you do get a 12% move one way or the other, that would, let's just call it $5, would be more than that, but around. So that's 48 up to 53. That makes sense right into that area. So, potentially we get that. And if it's a better report, then we take out that high and we could see highs again, or you go down $5 and you go 48 to 43, and you're still not even that bad. So this is why I kind of like SoFi. If the report is bad, then we can come back in and it'll just give us an opportunity to buy it, hopefully somewhere around that $40 mark for Robinhood. So I know we're talking about SoFi, but Robinhood does have a 7 or 8% short float, similar to the 12 or 13% from Robinhood, from SoFi. So, with earnings report tonight, this is one of the more interesting, and I know Joe's in this. I know there's a lot of traders that are in Robinhood. I actually think this is going to be more tradable and more interesting tomorrow morning than a Meta that reports today as well, because Meta being $500 and so dollars, I don't know. I probably won't be trading Meta tomorrow, and I'll probably will be trading Robinhood. So I'm going to focus a lot on that report. And I'm excited for it. So I say up, and away. If Robinhood numbers are correct, they had a 700% increase in crypto trading last quarter. That sticks in my head. And crypto's been great this quarter.
Gotta be.
So you would think that
gotta be.
Yeah, hopefully sort of pass through into earnings. But remember, stocks will not move on the earnings. They're moving on the guidance. So we'll wait to see what winds up happening and where SoFi sees this market, where Robinhood sees their market moving forward. But like the stock, like both these new finance names. I recently just bought JP Morgan like a month and a half or so ago. But again, best of breed, these two seem good to me.
I think that I always think my phone's listening to me. But we keep making those JT Marlin jokes. I've been getting boiler room suggestions on YouTube Shorts.
Yeah.
Every single day.
They do listen to you.
I think they are listening, because every time I make the JT Marlin joke, I just see, and I love those. Vin Diesel that's actually maybe his second best role, to be honest with you. You've never seen Boiler Room and you're a trader? That was screaming to be remade, or some type of a movie.
It's like a part 2.
Yeah, there could be you could do.
All right, there's more news out.
Something just hit, because we just came right back down a little bit. I'm not hearing anything, but I didn't hear anything in my ear the first time.
Because it's all bullshit.
The Twitter machine had it all over the place, but I've heard nothing on my ear. But a little bit of a pullback in the market, especially some of the chip names in here. The AMD just came back down to 96. Let's talk. On point. Let's talk about Nvidia, but a little bit of a shock there. Just half a point down. That's a bit it.
Yeah, multiple comments today from Jensen about the state of AI in the United States. First of all, I said he's warning here, actually, China is not behind the U.S. in AI. Bold statement there. Separately, he said Donald Trump should revise the rules for AI chip exports, obviously, to benefit his company. And today, Seaport Global initiated coverage on NVIDIA with a sell rating, guys, and announcing a $100 price target. We'll keep an eye out on that, possibly moving down, though, in sympathy with SMCI's Q3 guidance.
So, yeah, we had NVIDIA written down here as a short, 106.50 to 107 short, okay? So that was 100% the idea that we had because we had SMCI as a nightmare, we had the futures as a nightmare, and then we had Robinhood as a long, right? So that's why I talk so passionately about these names because they're actually names that I've been working on and looking to trade. So now, with that being said, we were short. So here's 106, here's 10. We didn't even get to 106, 106.50. That's in this area right here, okay? So the fact is the market was coming back in, all right? Once it did that, we started basically trying to short all of the bumps that were happening, and it was working out just fine. As the market was going to the downside, these trades were working. But then we sort of got that feeling, and we talked about that spidey sense, and I said it live right on the show. This does not feel like it wants to go down. So we kind of stopped averaging in. We only did it once we got up to these 200 period moving averages. Then we started again, was able to get it, but then eventually got stopped out. Once that last stop out happened right here at 10:30, and we were like, okay, now we're starting to get serious. We're breaking through that 106. The futures may go. We are getting different stories back and forth. So I just flipped long. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to try to support this long. And that's exactly what we did. We put on the biggest NVIDIA position the show's ever seen, right here at 106, 105.65. And then it just blasted. Then we got longer when we came back from the gym. Right there, we got longer again. And this is about like 10% or so of this position. Then another 10% or so right there as we dripped right into VWAP. Again, bought that, and then boom goes the dynamite. Needless to say, NVIDIA is a big trade today, the biggest. And glad that it's at least where it is. Good job there holding on to NVIDIA. We're $2 in the money. Let's see where it goes from here. I think higher. I mean, if this market really wants to rally, and if there is any news about China, then I think I'm in the right name. Let's wait to see what winds up happening here with NVDA.
Yeah, if there is any news, obviously the chips are going to be at the forefront. I think the guide was one thing from SMCI, but the real flush that happened, I didn't trade NVIDIA, it was a great one over there. I was in AMD pretty much most of the day, except for now, like AMD and SMCI. I'm no longer shorting those things. Forget about it. But it was all the economic data that really pressed us further down. Like, yeah, sure, you were gapped down on sympathy, but the push lower had everything to do with all of the swath of economic data that we had. When I'm eyeballing, I'm just going to go over to the daily chart. That's not split adjusted. There it is. I still believe we clear 115 on NVIDIA, and that's where it'll fly. It makes a ton of sense to me. The initial bounce that we had from that 80 took us to 115, and we've been struggling to get there ever since, like lower highs. And I think it's a lot of catch up for it to do. When I look at the same thing on AMD, it's been hanging out at the 98. Like AMD's already there, and it's already pressing right into that big top. I think it's a little bit closer to its breakout than NVIDIA is, but when NVIDIA gets going, I think people are more apt to hold it. That's the best way to put it. Like, I think when you get the big move on AMD, after a couple of days, you probably have a few more sellers. For advanced micro devices, 97.5, 97 quarter, 97.5 is like a 3-day high that it looks like we want to press into. But for now, as long as nothing comes out contrary, like I don't want to hear any negative headlines. We get a negative headline, all bets are off. I want to try to play some dips. I don't like the fact that it's kind of pulling back and not trendy as it was before, but I'd like to see a consolidation level on advanced micro devices. Not about chasing or anything like that, just want to be involved in that long. The only longs I had off VWAP was like Tesla. Oh, and Micron. I did trade Micron to the long side. In the midday, why? It came down to it just Micron had this really cool topping or bottoming tail candle at exactly 75. So I played a scalp trade on Micron. That's not the one I'm going back to. It's going to be advanced micro devices there. And I saw Lemon Musk asked us both this question, and you're just typing in UNH. I actually saw you say, do either one of us hold UNH in our long term? I used to. I do not anymore. I think I've talked about it just, I don't know, it just turned into a stock, and this is long before the earnings dump that it recently had. It just turned into a stock I didn't want to hold, just based on the business. And ultimately, it still has yet to make a bottom after their earnings came through and has been negative. And bouncing off, bounced off $400 exactly today. But there's been no hold of multiple levels on UNH. Like every single time it tries to make a higher low, like there it is, it establishes a higher low, the next day it breaks it. Makes a new fresh low. The next day it breaks it. So you need to start holding for multiple days some support here in UNH before you've convinced me that this thing's out of the woods. But I no longer hold it and haven't for months in my long-term account, and I don't think I want to be. I might trade it again, but I don't want to hold it long-term.
Yeah, I don't. I would just buy the diamonds. Would be my thing. I'm going to be very specific on the stocks that I'm buying. What's up, Dan McIsaac? You guys know that a stock that I'm very, very passionate about. Palantir is now up 1% after being down 4% earlier on today. This name is almost at all-time highs again. And it just keeps on motoring. Palantir, you want to talk about what a daily chart looks like? I mean, this thing was $92 6 days ago, now $117. And although the market's been choppy, nothing choppy about this daily chart as it just chops up the shorts and just keeps on going long all the way up here. Get ready to possibly fade this thing at 125, and not today, that's for sure. Palantir just continues to go. But don't tell anybody about Big Bear AI either. Let's all celebrate this one when this one gets to $8 or $9. But right now, Big Bear AI down 5% today. Another one of those little names that will one day hopefully be a big bear. All right, so right now it's just a wee cub, but it'll get going there for sure. All right, Coinbase. Let's have a look at some crypto now. 200 right now for Coinbase. So this name looks pretty choppy here today, but we do have that high of 202, low of 199, and right now you're stuck in the middle pretty much. Although it looks like we're trying to get back in, taking down VWAP as crypto 94,000 and change here for BTC. We looked at the Bitcoin chart earlier on in the day. And let me have another quick look at this here. Let's look at a 5-minute chart just to see. So we had already talked about the hold down there. Wow, that happened today of 93,000? Oh boy, this is what I'm saying about trading, man. Like if you're sitting here and you have these targets in mind, man, we talked about, I didn't expect to see this. We talked about this earlier today about 93 being the long, and that came into play. So if anybody was able to hit that, good job on you guys, man. 93 long. It bounces directly off of 93,000, and we did this work earlier for you today. And I was like, we're going to short there, and if you're going long or covering anything, would be right there at 93. Wow. What a trade. I don't know if you had this, Joe, or not, but that trade right there on BTC, that's about as clean as you can get. Right there off that boom, and then boom, right there, up $1,500 off that low there for BTC. So congratulations to anybody that found that. I mean, we found it at 9 o'clock, but we didn't hit it when it happened in and around 10:30 or so. So nice drop down there for BTC and a huge recovery, actually, right back there. Let's see if it can get back up to this 96, 97,000. I mean, that's its past support is 96, resistance. So once you bounce off of one level, possible. I mean, anything's possible, but potentially going back to the top end of that trade. So, yeah, I mean, I think anything's possible in this market for sure. And it looks like Bitcoin, again, another pretty good opportunity there to get some money in if you're dollar cost averaging down there at 93.
It's a nice bull flag at that same level, right? Like if you look at I don't know if you had the daily chart up there, but like we keep saying about this, I have three, and I haven't had to move them. These 3 lines on the chart, like, and they're the most obvious things on Bitcoin. It's like, oh, how do you have the top? I didn't make any tops and bottoms. This was the prior breakout. This was the resistance when it made the put. Like, look, it pushed up. This was the first level of resistance. Okay, throw a line on the chart. It then made this high from that top. Okay, we'll just throw a line up there, like around like. And then it just starts respecting it. And I love the fact we're consolidating right back above that 90, call it 91.5. This is primed for a breakout. And the way it goes, technically, first stop, obviously 100 is a big psychological one, and we had some trouble there before. But you can get higher. You can definitely get higher here. Now, whether or not I still think Bitcoin is very, very range bound right now. So I do believe you're going to run into a ton of resistance when you start getting 6, 7, 8 up here in BTC. So for those that I'm not swing trading this, man. Like if I dip by, I'm just holding it. Like I'm not selling anything. Maybe I should when we get the opportunity and buy back in. But if I was a swing trader, yeah, longs in here and longs in here, I'd consider taking some out if we got into that high 106, 107, 108 range for sure. Roger, a pullback would always be nice. But sometimes, there are moments when I'd rather buy something higher because it confirms the trend. And I'd feel better about it confirming the trend than retesting the lows. Even if the lows are a good buy opportunity, sometimes you just want the higher low to hold so you can resume the trend. There's got to be nothing wrong with that at times. A lot of people have asked about Tesla. Just to reiterate, and it's not to, I don't want to hate on Tesla, but like you saw all the chips go to the high of the day. You didn't see Tesla go to the high recently. It got to 281, but its highs like in the high 80s up there, almost like 290. So unfortunately, Tesla's lagging a little bit, and I want to see it either bounce. If it can bounce clean off 77, maybe. If it can get down and bounce off 275, that would be a level that I would look at there. But yeah, all of a sudden, Tesla down 5% and rolling back into VWAP. I think I want to be patient, buying any dips. You got a bit of a topping tail in the NASDAQ that I think you want to respect. VWAP is a while away here. I think your first stop would be the prior high, 1944. So that's what I want to look. That's what I want to look for.
So kind.
First. So let's see if VWAP can come in and hold. All I heard was eggs over there. The egg discussion.
Yeah, the man's on his 5th egg right now.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it, man.
He's had 14 before.
He already had 12 this morning, and he's having 4 more now. All right, I'm just fixing booking a couple days off up in here.
What?
That's in August, my guy pretty much every Friday in August.
I'm trying to process the whole. Well, he still had 12 to 14 this morning and is having 5 more on top of that.
16
Yeah, the fact that you don't have the yolks totally makes it much more reasonable. Let me give an update here because I'm out of like 85% of I almost said Walmart WW, which I can tell you went red going long, buying the dip into $1, and then when it lost $1, I flipped into the short trade. It'll be an L for me on today. Yesterday was much better on Weight Watchers. There's the name I was trying to come up with. Eventually did flip into the short. If it breaks the low, I'll have like 5% looking for 70 cents. There's a big seller at 85 on this thing, although it's 400,000 shares. The stock's done 233 million, so it's all relative. Obviously, it can chew through that in a heartbeat. So if we get back above, I'd say 86, I might consider taking a leg out for now. Next bid's at 78 on that bad boy. So Tesla, not at VWAP yet. AMD doesn't even seem to want to get to 96. AMD closed at 96 yesterday, so red to green, that 96 is what has to hold. I think that's the spot to buy the dip into on advanced micro devices. The fact that it went green today, it's an outsized mover. Let's see if it can't hold on. It's that or SMCI. Yeah, SMCI is not moving. SMCI is like barcoding off that 31. It is so tempting because that's the level that worked a couple of times for me shorting this 31, but not really feeling it right now.
Yeah, no. I took some out of NVIDIA, but let's try to see if there's another trade that we can make right now. I was looking at Coinbase and not much going on right there either. Apple up now 0.3. Down, 0.3, which is much better than where the market is right now. So again, I'm not seeing too much other than the fact that we are trying to bounce off 210 right here. So if you are going to do something, we could look at 210. 210 is right down here. We've sort of only wicked it once, and that happened back an hour ago or so, maybe a little earlier than that, but 1 o'clock-ish. We came back into 210. So other than that, we've held this level. So I think Apple does have a chance to go long from this area honestly, like almost right now. We could put a small piece on for Apple, but I would rather wait to see if we can come into that 210 area, then maybe even use 209.80, which is that bottom. So this is going to be a trade for me if it does come through. Let's look at Apple. Again, and put some bids down there. I do like that stock. So 210
05 or so, we'll put on a position and see what winds up happening if it does come into there. So that's a quick little look. We could check out on some of the names that we'll be reporting later on today, like Meta. So Meta right here, down 3%, and yuck. I would not touch this thing at all heading into earnings today. I do not. I repeat, I do not like the way this looks. And although it did get a nice bump up there on Google earnings, we know that it also faded out with Google. And now today you're down that 3%. I like the stock. I don't think there's anything wrong with Meta per se, but it's just when we wait to see earnings, that we've already seen where this can go. Has nothing to do with where Meta's business is. It has to do with where it's going. So I want to hear what they're talking about, because I remember a little while ago, they were talking about some of their ads being affected, and that was with Israel and Hamas and all that kind of stuff that was happening over there. They were saying that their vision moving forward was relatively unclear with that happening. Now we have China back into the building. So I feel like there's going to be some clarity that needs to be sort of firmed up there with Meta. So we'll wait to see what the response is today from that. And then Google, so I'm going to stay away. And then the other name that I was just mentioning here, Google, again, under 160. That 160 is that over-under. We played this yesterday, and we actually wound up doing okay on Google yesterday off of 160. But you could see here today, whoops, there's the 160 bid that we were talking about yesterday, right? It held a couple times. We were able to take advantage of it until eventually it wound up breaking kind of right at the close, but it didn't really do too much. And then today, once we were underneath 160, it has continued to bleed, right? And I mean, even though we're still down 2%, all of these names right now are bouncing off of VWAP and trying to do something. So for me, that would be an area to look at, but I'd rather look at Apple. Apple's only down 0.3 right now into a Google down 2 number, right? So I think if we're going to go long, we should play relatively strong names, and right now Google's not, but Apple is. The other name, and again, put some names in the chat if you want. I'm just sort of running through.
Palantir's running again.
Yeah, Palantir.
That's been set up.
Yeah, that's. Yeah, I mean, Palantir is the greatest, pretty much the greatest trade of my life, to be honest with you. But buying that where we did and being able to see where it's going right now, Palantir has been incroyable right there. But yeah, Netflix would be the other one that's relatively strong. So this was a name that just made all-time highs, and it is just gone. I should have picked this on our day, on that day when we were making our plays, because, you know, we really liked Netflix, and I talked about WWE, and I remember specifically mentioning that. And yeah, that's really, I don't know if that added to it. I actually didn't comb through their earnings report, but yeah, Netflix continues to run, right? And I don't think it's to anybody's surprise that this monster is where it is. I mean, they still have Netflix gaming. There's many more shoes to drop in this name, right? So, yeah, we like Netflix. I like it. So anything dipping down into Netflix, even on the day, we could just try this with smaller shares, but that's going to have to get to 116 before we look at VWAP. So, yeah, all right, let's go back over. Oh, we're not ready yet, are we? I just heard go to Adara, so... Yeah, Andre says, all right, let's go to Adara.
Just be aware here, we do have a situation where Caroline Leavitt with a White House press briefing, but not usually the type that we get. This one I wasn't seeing anything about ahead of time. She's briefing members of the, quote, new media in a much smaller forum. So just be aware here, Caroline Leavitt speaking, I'm listening to it. Maybe not market moving at all, but something to be aware of. Back to you.
Well, you always want to be aware, because anything that comes from the administration can move the markets. That's just the reality. It might be, I don't know, like if you hear like confirmation of these talks with China, like we're already getting a big bounce here. Why don't I just type in Uber? Maybe sometimes I have no idea why I just typed Uber. Of all things, it makes no sense. When I meant to type Alibaba. When I'm looking at the Chinese names here, which had that great reaction when we came on, they've given it pretty much all back. Like almost the entirety of the move. Like Baba, it's looking a little bit weak right now, which I think that's a little bit concerning. So I think, look, if there's any confirmation, these have a potential to catch up. Then the only caveat, of course, is it's the afternoon and it's a Chinese ADR, so sometimes you're not going to go too much higher. But yeah, it's weird that these boys are not following with them right now. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Wow, all right, let's cancel our dip buy on AMD, because that's just going higher and higher and higher. It's 1% up on AMD, and this is a big level on AMD. Like, you're probably not going to find too many
stock?
stocks that have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Yeah, I know.
6 times. 6 times in the last month,
Yes.
we have tested this same high just underneath the $98 level. Wow, I said this week, if it got up there again, I would take a shot shorting it. I guess we have to wait for it to get there. This stock is crazy. It's on one.
Yeah, on one. We are right now on one, but actually in one right now. NVIDIA be on one right now. $2 in the money right now. We were just talking about PEs over here, and my guy just figuring it out now because we've been talking about Google. I actually thought it was at 15 or 16 PE right now. Sharif just reminded me it's 17. I mean, I just don't love the name. I do own a decent amount of Google, but with this recent move up in Palantir, I think we do have a new leader in the clubhouse right now. For my account is Palantir, but I didn't sell any Google, so I still, if I really didn't like it, obviously I'd get out. But I am forever long. So we won't be selling anything at any point. Although I'm gonna be forever long. And if you want top tier odds and total control, then you want to be with Profit X. See this? Scan that QR code right there. Sign up ASAP. Bet all your today's trading winnings on the Maple Leafs. If you want to lose it all, yeah. To open API access for automation, cost-efficient trading all in one place. It's like day trading your favorite sports. Make offers, match plays, and even manage your own risk with Profit X. Don't just place picks, exchange them. Profit X is smarter, faster way to play. Users can use code TRADERTV to sign up and offer 2% cash back up to $300. Look, I don't have to do a demonstration again, do I, on the show? Profit X. And look, man, I'll just load up my FanDuel account right now and show you guys. The odds on Profit X
any game
are so much better than all the other books. And it's not just saying this because we can stop rolling that there, Andre, when you want. The Profit X does have an absolutely amazing platform. We've tested it out. You can exchange, if you want to get out of your odds, you can get out of them. Even for a profit, you could scalp your plays. So look, it's a great platform, and we definitely support it here at Trader TV.
Yeah, you want the Lakers tonight? I don't know why. Go Minnesota. Money.
It's in Los Angeles, or?
Yeah, it's in LA. Money line minus 220. You take the spread 5.5, you'll get 107. Not to put you on the spot or anything, but we've done this. This is the thing. We've done this a million times. There hasn't been a single time we've pulled up any kind of a major game where the line wasn't better over here at Profit X, or at least what you're able to.
We're looking at NBA.
I have NBA up right now. The Timberwolves and the Lakers.
Yeah, so right here, and I'm not even looking at Neil's screen. I'm just going to tell you what it is right here. So the money line right now for the Timberwolves is plus 190, and the Lakers are minus 230.
220.
Right, so right there. So you're saving, and if you go over to Neil's screen, there it is right there, 220 and 210. So complete opposite, not opposite, but you're saving on that one. And the line right now is 5.5. What do you got over there?
Well, they got 5.5.
That's a save,
But what are you getting on that?
It's always minus 110 on both. And look at that. Plus so you get. All right. Look.
See what I'm saying?
I know. So just focus. Zoom in. You can.
Oh yeah. There
it is.
Yeah,
so look at that. Minnesota Timberwolves plus 5.5. Right there. What Neil's showing you is plus 103. Right. So right here on my screen, Andre, if we look in that.
Go to Sean's screen.
There it is right there. That plus 5.5 is minus 110. So you're literally saving 13 cents right there on 100. So, I mean, whatever. It's up to you guys. Scan it, get in there. If you are a gambler, worth checking it out. Thank you to Profit X. And
think of it this way. It's like imagine there was a gateway that you could sit on that when NVIDIA was at 106, you could get it at 105.80. You're going to buy it anyways.
I mean, if that existed, I wouldn't even be sitting here.
Well, remember the Soul Bandits back in the day?
Yes,
there used to be crap like that, stuff like that in trading where you'd get advantages.
Watch your language.
Yeah, my bad. Stuff like whatever, crap like that. It used to happen, and early on there were traders that would only do all they did. They just sit there arb through the books, and if you can do it, then good luck to you for sure. You see a lot of people making predictions in there. Hood is the next run, somebody just said. Well, I want to look.
Because again, someone just asked, why does profit not just move the line to 6? They're not setting.
Oh,
the
no,
lines.
they're not.
The lines are set by you. So if you want to go in there, so you could go into ProfitX right now and
Yeah, I can go in now.
create that line yourself. You could go in there and say, I'm going to put $1,000 on whatever. You're saying Minnesota plus 6. Then you could just do that yourself. Someone will come in and hit you.
Yeah, exactly.
And then that's your trade. So yeah, it's pretty cool stuff, man, over there. So we
Like, you can swipe the entire book if you
swipe or
want.
no swiping.
It's been a long time since we looked at that. I feel like those days, we don't do any more Paw Patrol. We don't do any more.
Dora is Costa
Dora the
Rican, I think.
Explorer. Is it? You know what? I should know this,
Venezuelan?
but I should know because my daughter watched a ton of it, but I don't remember where she's from.
Hola, soy Dora.
There's a Canadian version called Bo on the Go,
Yes, I know that one.
which my brother, for a period, was an animator on, which is pretty cool.
The worst
Yeah.
Canadian one of all time is that French one. Oh man, what's that thing's name? Caillou.
Bless you. Yeah.
You like Caillou?
Caillou, you like
Caillou's a problem, man. That kid is a problem, Caillou, right there. You don't watch out for Caillou,
They know.
anybody. Who's hitting the fail over there? Mr. One Piece?
Fabian's hitting the fail. Over
What, you like
and over.
Caillou? Huh?
Nobody.
No,
likes
okay,
Caillou.
okay. He doesn't like Caillou.
The second you
the only
said
one that
it-
likes Caillou is Captain Pie over there.
No, he doesn't.
You like
He's
Caillou?
never even seen it, probably.
You like Caillou? A little arrogant French kid. Okay, I'm going to show you some Caillou highlights coming.
But it's like you said there, like just the character, the kids show, the characters shouldn't rub you the wrong way that bad.
Obi never saw Scarface, okay? So Obi is out. Okay, Obi is out. Yeah, I know. It is OG, but I'm not. I don't know, but the one I remember is Hal Johnson. What is the sport, the workout one there?
Yo, body-
they're back.
body break?
Body break.
With Hal Johnson and Joanne McLeod.
Yes, I was gonna say the body break.
You are fake.
Yeah, there it is, man. Thank you, Jay Lee. Jay Lee not feeling Caillou.
Thank you. It was terrible. Yeah, but this comment says everything right here. Caillou was horrible.
Caillou is
it
a red
taught
flag.
kids
Yes, thank
to
you. Ban
whine
Caillou.
and complain.
Who's the one writing that?
Kid had a bad attitude.
Good. I want
kid
to
had a bad
still
attitude in
keep it real. This is
Can't
my
promote
girl
that
over
stuff,
there.
man.
I can't.
Dora
I
had
can't.
Dora has a reasonable positive attitude. Caillou was
Exactly.
Caillou was a problem.
Caillou was a problem.
Nobody
child.
actually.
Caillou is the Jake Paul
Exactly.
he's a problem child.
No, when you watch a kids show, you want the kid in the kids show to be a role model to your child.
Right.
Not exactly what you don't want them to act like.
He's like Dennis the Menace. That's all. I mean, I like.
No, but
Caillou.
Dennis the Menace was kind of.
There, Caillou. A lot of people hating on Caillou. So there we go.
Sorry.
Paw Patrol's okay. I like Paw Patrol.
I
All right. So yeah.
Paw Patrol has some weird mind control thing going on that makes kids addicted. No, seriously, the length, no, the way that they
going
do
on over
the way that they do the color patterns, it's been actually studied. The way they do the color patterns on that show, how long they leave things on screen, how quickly they do the
Yes,
cuts,
okay.
is optimized to make you it's like crack.
They had a movie too.
Just saying.
You know, the best of all time,
That's why kids get upset when they stop watching.
and probably no one's even really heard of it here, is Yo Gabba Gabba. I don't know if anybody's heard of that. Okay, maybe you do, but like Jack Black's been on that. But Yo Gabba Gabba is literally the best kid show of all time. Listen, Mr. Caillou, you're out now, okay? There's no more comments about kid shows there. Even Caillou probably had a piece of pie in one of those episodes, I would think. No, fake. No, he did not, Caillou. There's one person in the chat that loves Caillou. What's up, Jam Loki?
That's Joe's homie right there.
Thing is, when Joe has kids and actually watches Caillou again, then
You'll
he
have a
will come right
you'll have
back
a
on the
different
show,
opinion when he has
and he will
kids.
be like, "I'm not worthy."
that.
Caillou is a disaster of a show, but I like it though. It's fun to watch. It's just for kids, anyways. This all started with Dora, by the way. Okay, so let's just go back into the market real quick. I mean, the market is coming back down. NVIDIA's taking the way up, though. So we just got another out. I mean, I left it on the screen. You guys could see we just got out another one at the day high. So we'll go props up for that one. And then one of the original OG animations is this floss one. So there it goes, man. What up to Fortnite as we floss that one out to the upside there. I mean, I'm looking at the scanners trying to find out if something's going on. Palantir is just, honestly, man, unabated to the quarterback right now. It just took down 118.20, and now it's finally starting to pull back. But damn, we like some Palantir around here, man. That stock continues to work itself out, long from years ago. And the last time we took something out was $50. But I do think that, I think it was Dan that was mentioning this in the chat. It probably is time to think about, anyways, taking some of this out. It's had a huge move upside as we enter the hour of power, right up there to the top end, PLTR. A name that got destroyed today, though, was CoreWeave, I thought, early. Yeah, well, not really. I guess it's recovered a little bit there, down 4%. People were yelling at us earlier about CoreWeave. And yeah, there it is. So they did have a disaster move down there. SMCI gave some back yesterday, so CoreWeave gets hit a little bit due to that, I guess. But there it was. It looks like the bottom right down there, 39.58. All right, Adara has, guys, breaking news. So let's go find out what's going on.
I actually don't. Sorry, that was a miscommunication. I have no breaking news, but if you are interested in earnings plays, then I guess I do, because here is the list of events and earnings on watch for tomorrow. And wow, is it a doozy? You can check this out on X at TTV Research. It's just been posted. Tomorrow morning, a slew of healthcare-related names reporting. You have CVS, Moderna, and Eli Lilly. McDonald's also reporting much earlier in the earnings season than it usually does. Roblox as well tomorrow, MasterCard and Wayfair. Then after the close tomorrow, we're going to be getting Amazon and Apple, as well as some names like Reddit, Big Bear AI, Sean. We've got Airbnb, Twilio, and Lumen. So many tickers. Just check this out on X at TTV Research. Very soon, I will be posting the implied moves for tonight's earnings and tomorrow's earnings. Back to you.
That's their logo? Big Bear, that's their logo? That looks like Polestar.
That's their logo.
It's because the logo's for, everyone's like, why are we leaning in like we're old men? No, because on our program screen, that Big Bear eye was so tiny. That's not a very good logo. You gotta get something cooler than that. No, Big Bear AI.
He's not normally here. He doesn't know the fun that we have in the afternoon.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, this is good times,
Dude,
man.
Big Bear should have, it's the easiest logo of all time. My brother make one for, well, just do it.
I do have to. Your brother, imagine that's Grok right now.
Any like Grok.
Yeah. No, but yeah, Neil's brother's an animator. So shout out to Mr. Len. All right, so let's go shout out to Sharif and Neil today, because we do have, again, a big earnings show ready for you. Sharif, Neil, Adara, all on board today for, again, a sort of a murderer's row of names, and will definitely affect the market tomorrow, man. I mean, it's a good thing that we're on the new month, because April going out a little bit like, I don't know, it was going to go out like a lion over the last couple of days, and today it's kind of come back in a little bit. But April's been a good month. When you sort of look at the triple Qs here, I'll just call them up for you. We did turn green on the month. I'm not sure by what percent, because today we were down pretty decently there today. But what a month of April, man. Like, we went all the way back into like 2024, beginning of 2024 right there. So we gave back about a year and a half worth of S&P runs or NASDAQ runs. We gave back a year and a half this month alone. And then it just said, nope, we'll put you right back to earlier on in the year as we get to go right now. Sharif, is everything all right over there, my guy? He's getting excited. Oh, he's watching football highlights. Somebody just scored. Ooh, I like it. Champions League semifinal. Who's in that semifinal? Okay, let's go Inter.
1-0. They just scored, my guy.
That's right.
Yeah,
I know nothing about this, but go Italy.
You just randomly, that's why you picked it. That's why you picked it.
Yeah, of course, man. Let's go to Roma, Siena. We're down.
I want to go to Sicily.
Choppy days. You want to go to Sicily? Yeah, I've never been to that.
Well, only because
Shout out to my guy Sebastian Maniscalco.
Because I started the what the heck's that show called again? White Lotus?
Yes.
That's the name.
Yeah.
He wanted to say Blue Lotus.
Wasn't that season 2 was in Italy, or was it season 1?
No, season 2. I just started season 1, so nobody spoil it for me. I'm way behind on this White
Somebody
Lotus.
dies. Exactly. That's why I do it, because it's if you've seen the first episode.
No, but that was spoiled for me in season going into it. I knew it was going to be.
It's not a spoil.
But they show you at the beginning. Like, at the beginning of the episode,
point.
you know somebody dies, which I think is really cool. They work backwards. I meant to. Roblox was on that list, and we didn't really. I wanted to talk about Roblox just very quickly if we can. So I didn't realize how well this is doing. Shout out to Roblox for somehow managing to be down every time my daughter is feeding for it. I have no idea. I think maybe it's our PC, but we tend to have issues with that thing sometimes in the evenings. But Roblox, really good long consolidation here. I love bottoming tail candles like this, 65 half. Like, clearly it's a rejection. Now, This plays both ways. If you do this, you have to hold it. It's got to hold 65 half and then break out the top. Otherwise, you're just in flat bottom break territory. I think it's going to be technically, it's an obvious area over under to play with, right? Like clear resistance above it, you know what to do. Underneath it, you kind of know what to do as well with that bad boy. Apparently, interest scored in the first minute. That's intense. What is going on over in Tesla? Tesla never got to VWAP, so it's a little bit disappointing because it did the bounce off of 78 and not even close. Actually, it was like 78 half. It didn't come close to 77, and I even preferred 75. It's right back up at that top. So this might not be the one. It could just be an AMD party because that's holding trend there. Since the high, this is the trend line that's holding on AMD, but it's like barely holding. So even if I get into AMD, close this bar above, bounce once, close above the trend line, I'd be out of it with a really tight stop just based on the rules. I don't want to short that trend break. If I short something, it's SMCI. Because SMCI is just 31, 31, 31 over and over and over again. If we fail to break it this time when the futures go to the high, it should just be a short up here. Like look at the rejection at 31 every single time.
Cantor Equity Partners, CEP, what dump city right now? Yeah, I donate $30 a month to Roblox, so that's fun times. But right into here, yeah, still going upside right now. Now it's not. It's only up 1.5%. But we had CEP going for CEP. There it is right there.
C3PO?
Yeah, C3PO. It's still up 17%, right? So there it is. So there's the move there. Nice dump back in for CEP, right into VWAP again. So it just lost a bid, seriously. Why did this not just halt? I don't understand. I don't understand the halt rules here because that seems pretty quickly like 10% to me in just a matter of minutes. But there goes CEP downside, 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 4, 5 minute, 6 minute, more. But yeah, there it is right there. That should have halted right there. I don't know, but anyways, nice downside play there for CEP as it continues to go a little bit lower, and it's not halted. I can see it's changing right now, and this is not how our screen looks when it's halted. It gets grayed out. So right now, a nice move back in for CEP, back into VWAP. So again, a level, if you're looking at it, if you are short, you may want to think about covering right now. There is some, obviously some sort of supply zone right here. We did get through a lot of volume on that early spike at 11 o'clock up to $42. Then it did fall right back in almost into where we are right now. $36, $37. So I guess if you don't want to cover and you are holding for obviously something a lot more, then I would say do not let it break this 36.50 area right there, because then you're under VWAP, you're under every single technical line that I like to follow, and you broke support. So if you are in Cantor Equity Partners, like we all are, obviously, then this one you have to watch out for a 36.50 drop off. Weight Watcher, WW International did find a bottom very similar. Look for the last kind of supply zone in area traded, and it's right into there. So we do find that bid coming in again. So that would have been a great long. Let's just go back over NVIDIA. NVIDIA, that's right. Is making that move back in. So we took that out. We talked about that. I only now have about 20% of what's left on board for this trade. So fine for that for me. And well in the risk spot. We've taken out a lot on this trade. It's a good one. I'm really happy with the way I traded this. But I'm going to take another piece out here at 47. So let's do that right now. So we do that. And now we're getting lighter on that position. So, all right, that's what we're doing. I am just messing around a little bit with Fannie Mae. It's not doing anything right now. I'm trying to see. I'm long right here at 31, but it's not doing anything. So I'm just going to offer it at 32. Maybe get out. That was something else that I was trying to look at right there for you. We did have a story earlier on this morning about Boeing and the government. And again, anytime, I think this could be, it's not really even that undercover, but this could be a big, huge winner again when we look at how China is going to react to any possible deal with the United States, right? And they've sort of put a halt, at least this is the story that I remember a couple weeks ago when this all came up, is that China was like, fine, then we're just not going to buy any more planes kind of thing. And Boeing did have that move down. But since then, it's been doing quite well, back near the highs for Boeing. As you can see, it's 6 or 7 straight up days now for Boeing, and right back up into, it's not going to be all-time highs, but right back into a nice resistance zone here of 190. So you can take this 190 all the way back to March of 24. So basically a year ago where we were in this area, and you might look back back and say, well, why didn't I sell? Well, you might have the same questions right now. So I actually just missed. I was at 125. It was one of those odd things that as it was happening, I didn't even think about it. It would have been great to get long down there, but we missed it. Should have been at 130 on Boeing, but it's a good level to get out, I think, for BA if you're still in that. It's not doing too much right now. The market's not doing too much. We've seen the market go to sleep ahead of some of these earnings plays. So I think today, especially with Microsoft, and we sort of just went over all the earnings that were happening today, and you know, Microsoft, Meta, there's some big ones in the afternoon tonight with Hood as well. So we'll have to wait to see. Look at Microsoft kind of not doing anything. Yesterday we did have that.
Qualcomm as well.
Qualcomm was a good one that we had missed sort of talking about. Tesla yesterday had that wicked break, late day break, where we didn't take it. It was 287 right there. So I'm actually thinking that right now you're kind of gearing up for a very, very similar break. So I'm going to take this time. That is 280. You see what happens? This is how you know, like I got to zoom into my own eyes. 281.50 right there to take this trade. I'm going to do it. So like Nike, we're just going to do this, and we're going to try to see where we go from here on NKE. So yeah, good level. We'll see if it can hold, or sorry, on Tesla.
Dan McIsaac just asked about Nike.
He did?
Yeah. I thought
I didn't see that. I was just saying I was just going to do the trade. But shout out to Nike.
That was well played.
Probably going downside there because Starbucks, I would think. I don't know what Nike's doing today, but if the China story doesn't get sorted out, Nike has a problem. So does Lululemon, which, by the way, I actually noticed I'm wearing Lulu boxers, Lulu shirt, Lulu pants. I don't have the Lulu hat or socks on today, but I do own socks. I do not own the stock.
No. I had it for a bit for a trade. It didn't lose. It might have made a little bit on the trade, but I don't like Lulu. Dan, so quickly, actually, let me start with the other way, because I don't want to fight anything here today. You tick by even a cent through the high, okay, fine, like risk less than 10 cents on the stock. It is what it is, but that's how it is going to be with this market and the recovery that it's putting on here. So SMCI is trying to break out past that 31. It's also SSR. But I did want to shout out to Dan asking about Nike for the long term, because I keep saying when you have something settle down off for earnings, like have it hold that low. Remember, that already happened. Like it held here, call it like mid-month, like I don't know, 15, 16, there's your higher low, there's your higher low, and then you're breaking out past 55, ran into a brick wall at 60, and it's coming right back in. So I don't like that look as much on Nike. There's so much risk, and the problem with Nike is by the time there's a deal, there's just nothing you can do about it. Like when there's a deal, Nike's just going to gap up one day and just be gonzo.
Yeah, exactly. That
was intense.
Good. Yeah.
Why are you asleep in the first place?
That's the whole point to do this, to wake up. No, we're just in. That's why I hit it. There goes Tesla. We just talked about it. We said we were going to do it. We did it. We're in it right now. There goes Tesla. Let's see how far we can go. It just went at almost 50 cents almost immediately right there. We didn't put an offer out because it happened so quickly. There's that little wick high there. No, actually it only goes to 80. So I actually put an offer out. I thought I'd missed the top, but I put an offer out at 93, so it didn't actually get that high. We're going to try to, actually, what am I doing? That's not enough shares. I'm going to try to take out 10% if it does go. Actually, let's take out, I haven't really looked at the outside of this trade yet, so let me just put it out. Let's get out a 10%, sorry, at 90, so we're just a couple pennies away from getting that trade right now. Let's see if Tesla really wants to work today. Yesterday, when we ripped through, I mean, we never saw anything until the 50-period moving average happened at 430 right there. So let's see if it wants to continue to go higher. Right now, we are now finally on a level break for Tesla. It's a new trade position for us here in the afternoon. So I'm going to watch out for that. Again, maybe the 50-period would be an issue. So that is 279.50. So that's fine for me. We're in about a not two. I mean, the units are so different because Tesla is a wild one, but we are in Tesla right now, maybe about a unit and a half. So let's wait to see what happens. We are willing to hold this all the way back to the 50-period moving average. I am. So that's 279.50. So let's go. All right. So something about Trump and air flights, but talking about Oh, air traffic controller shortages. So anyways, AAL, I just want to look at that, see if there's anything going on there. But
Yeah, no movement.
You know, if it's anything serious, Adira will obviously have that for
Actually,
us.
we never even talked about.
Yeah, okay, so she's talking about cabinet meetings or something. That they talked a lot about that during the cabinet meeting. So, all right, we'll find out if there's anything else going on here in this market. But your boy is long right now, new position. It's only 25 cents in the money, but we're going to see how far Tesla can go and take a little bit out. Like I said, 10% out at 90 if it can get up there. It looks like it's trying. And then 282 after that, and then hopefully we moon. But the futures are going to have to go, right? So we'll see if that's going to be the case. Good trade on NVIDIA and hopefully even a better one on Tesla.
Yeah, I'm reversing. If you're breaking out, you're breaking out. Like when you zoom out and remember how big a level 31 was on SMCI, I want to be long in the other direction. So we were short at this level in the middle of the day, and we just had it a couple seconds ago, but I want to see if we can't go long in front of it. Oops, zoom out too far there. It was just the initial bounce spot that got you to 31, and then the overnight high as well was 31, call it 31 change, like 31.10 or something like that. So you're breaking out in a couple of ways here, grabbing the longs and just trying to continue out, like see where it can go. I was going to mention the travel names, but I went over to see NCLH after that, I guess, airline headline. And like, we didn't even talk about NCLH. Somebody's doing some weird things on NCLH. It's barcoding. SMCI will be much more interesting. Tesla right now is going, but this breakout, not even with the market going and you're breaking out highs on both these names, but it is pretty intriguing. Whatever's happening on NCLH at $16, if you're into a barcode, somebody is loading up on that stock down there. But I want to be able to add to SMCI. I think you can at least clean to the $0.50 at this point. Last salvo when the market's breaking out. And in the midst, I looked at AMD. AMD's pulling back. And NVIDIA is pulling back. And SMCI is breaking out. So that's the reason we flipped it to the long.
Thanks, Randy, for this earlier. I mean, what else do we want to do right now? Let's just do cooking. We're cooking. There it goes, man, 282.25. So it smooths 75 cents immediately right there. So, you know, we're trying to see if there's some more movement here for Tesla. So we're out of 20%. 10% there at O's at 82. We're actually at 93, and then right there, we actually were at 25. So 282.25 right there out. So we only out of 10%, 10%. So still got 80%. Let's see how far we can go. You know, to look at some levels here for Tesla on a 1-minute chart. I mean, this little bottom, what is that? That's 283 flat. All right, I can do that. 282.90. Let's put another 10% up there. If we can get that, that'd be great. So let's see if it wants to continue its upside play. And the other one that we have on board is NVDA, and we're taking some out again. So we're getting really light on NVIDIA, man. We have about, looking at the math, about 20% left of this position. We have done really well. Like, we didn't scalp this out at all until we got back into this level right here. So that was pretty important. Normally, I would have scalped some out right here. Didn't do it. Let it run all the way to the upside. Then we were able to get out again at 107.50. I mean, that is the level that we had written down here between 106.50 and 107. So, you know, the fact that that's doing something right now, no surprise, maybe a turnaround off of that 108 marker. All right, Tesla's falling in just a little bit. I'm going to get out just a little bit here at 90 if we can, on a little bit of a bump up. Let's put 5% more out right there, because again, it's a good trade here into the end of the day. That's for sure. If it's going to be a good trade, we're only out of 20% of it. Let's get out of 25% now. And as this keeps changing, our out is changing. So I'm not holding this back through the 50-period moving average, which is right there. So now it's 279, basically 280. If we break through 280, like, every minute this thing's gonna climb higher, right? So by the time we probably have to deal with it, there we go. Let's freaking go. Right there, that's $1 right now. So we're back into the club. We just put this on. I'm glad you reversed into the long there on SMCI as well, because there it goes. Let's go. Again, for Tesla, as you know, we're making it rain a little bit here. Oh, we have something for that. It's a money storm kind of an idea again for us. So yeah, we're pretty happy here. Good battle back from yesterday. There it goes. There's your smooth dollar. It's a face slapper. One more time for Tesla. Thank you so much for trusting in the positions that I'm putting on. And I hope that you guys were able to take some of that. We talked about it. Nike, just do it. We did it. there with Tesla, and it shoots up the board. So good job there. We're out of more and more and more of that. We have 70% left.
Yeah, great look over there on Tesla. I want to remind everybody, I said this yesterday, but there's a 135 million expected buy-in balance today, which is rather large. It's that thing that was a sell yesterday on AMCR. Right now, the early look is 3.8 million. So I'm going to have this up. You don't usually see stuff like this, and it's down on the day, which is a good thing because it gives you more room to buy it up. But it just caught a little bit of a bid, and when it happened, you can see the early looks like 3.8. So if this climbs higher and continues to grow, I might look to try to build a long position. If you just see AMCR and you're like, what the heck, why is anyone even trading this thing? 135 expected buy on this bad boy, which is over $1 billion notionally. So that's a massive, massive imbalance. I might get a dip buy opportunity there in SMCI, but I'm not in it yet. I want to see it grow one more time, and then I'll take a shot at it. But I just wanted to explain it before, so that if you see me in that stock randomly, you'll know exactly what's up. We didn't take it yesterday because it was the wrong direction. So it could have had something out there for like 15 pennies on SMCI, but I wanted it to get to 40. It's like the gap is huge on this thing. Like you got to go way, way back to, what are we talking about? Like the 15th, 16th, 17th in here. The last time we had any closes at these prices, and 31.5 was that close. So that's where I want to look to see if we can get it. Mike Horn says Tesla, and then he deleted it. Oh, Mike, I was about to read it, Mike Horn. You just said Tesla short 299, and then you deleted, retracted your message. I don't know if it gets there today. I think a lot of people would. I don't know why you retract that message. I think that when Tesla gets to levels like 300,
Maybe I think you meant 289 probably.
Oh man, that could be it.
I mean, if we run a $17 winner here right at the end of the
I was just reading the chat.
Yeah. No. I know what you're saying. I'm just saying like there is some kind of a possibility, I think, for a much higher move. So we're $1 in the money on this. We only now have 60%, but here it comes. I mean, now this is going to be $1.50 in the money on this one. So yeah, man, today is a very, very chill day. We've really hit the levels that we wanted to. And there goes Tesla, just to top it off at the end of the day. We'll tweet that out, but we're doing it live every single day. And I mean, this trade I gave as soon as it broke, even as soon as it broke, we were talking about them well before it broke, and then as soon as it broke, automatically triggered in. And again, that's how I use the stop orders. I'll use them to get in and to get out of a position. But there goes Tesla. Nvidia's $1.80 in the money, and Tesla's $1 in the money. So combined over here, we've got over $2.80 right now, $3 in the money. And the Tesla trade is a brand Nubian. So if you guys were interested in that, then you got that winner hopefully on board as well. So bye-bye Tesla. And Neil's just in WW and SMCI, and I'm only in NVIDIA right now and Tesla. So,
oh, what the heck?
Did Inter score again? I mean,
no, it was probably just a chance.
2-0 Inter.
What, they scored again?
Yeah, you got to make sure. You definitely got to. Simple. T Money told me to ask you what. Hold on, let this play.
We're here, baby.
T Money asked me to ask you what happened in Champions League yesterday. We lost one. Oh, okay, so
yeah,
that's what it was.
I feel like T Money
here,
knew that.
Here comes, of course.
T Money knew that before you asked. You know what's up.
Yeah. Figured that much as well. All right, so Tesla just came right back in again. So let's take another piece out right now at 282. So we'll do that. We just got 281.90 again right there. It's really nice to watch this happen, but remember, this is a very, very sensitive name, right? I mean, any kind of a headline that comes through, and we haven't heard anything, headline-wise, pretty much in the last hour. So maybe we're just chilled out right now. I'm going to get some more out near the top. This is a topping day right now. Like if we can top out the day, we were in a little bit of trouble early and then just made it all back. And we want to thank NVIDIA for that really at the end of it all. But I think we've covered a couple good names there, man. Boeing, Robinhood, WW, CEP. There was that crazy runner that I said was going to be, what was that new IPO? YB? Was that what it was?
Oh, it was bad.
So,
it was bad. That was, yeah.
Yeah, no, but when it opened, you know,
Oh,
you
yeah, it went to
immediately,
29.
if you got 21.60 off the open, it went to $29. Now, you would have not had that top, but if you participated sort of in any of these halts, and you could see when it got nasty, the minute, and this is a learning opportunity for all of us, the minute you take out, and you saw the way I traded CoreWeave, which was great. We had a great trade on CoreWeave, but the minute it breaks where you opened, like where you IPO'd at, that's the short. So there it is right now. Now it's gone to sleep. Probably will do that. I'd say watch out. This is only a 2 million share float on YB. So look for this name tomorrow. This is a day 2 play for sure. If you want to take like 100 shares and run this thing into tomorrow, I wouldn't blame you. I think there's a good opportunity for this stock to do something tomorrow when the Chinese government says, okay, it's time to turn on the machines and let's run YB to the upside. So watch out for that one tomorrow.
I don't even know what they do.
Doesn't matter. I don't know what they do either. But
I just know this Chinese.
yeah, exactly. So that's the take for me on that one as well. All right, so we got some more out. So we are actually out. We have less than half right now of Tesla. But look what's happening. This one could fall right out of bed real quick, right? So 280. We said this probably would be at 280 by the time this came back. So
Well, what happened to the bottom there?
you're just seeing the market go down.
Oh, there we go.
What's doing something?
I just be careful that.
I didn't hear any of that. So go ahead, Neil.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't catch it there. But we just lost 31, so I got to slap the fail. That was a huge reversal. Went from like 20 pennies in the money to instantly breaking the 31 on SMCI. So that's headed down. With that tick down, I did take this AMCR. It just like I'll show you mine. It went from 4 million to 13 million, so it keeps growing to the buy side. So I'm just sort of sitting on the bid. If it makes a fresh low, like we're a half an hour from the imbalances, so I got to be careful with this, right? If it breaks the low, I'm just going to jump out of it. If it gets to resistance, I'll take some profit. But as long as it's holding the low and growing larger as a buy imbalance, then I'll try to respect it. Just get out of WW at this point. Can't break 80, can't break 90, and we're short at 90, so it's clearly just got like a 10-cent range. I'm on the bid at 81, see if we can't take it out. But yeah, I mean, my stop's at break even, so I think it should be fine for sure. But obviously, we'll see how this goes with AMCR. It's supposed to be a big buy. There was a delete, but BERY, which is being deleted, is already off the index today. So, it's already deleted today, so you can't really trade the other side of it. Why did I type A in this?
All right, so we were able to buy a little bit of a dip there on Tesla. Again, we're just trying to hold that against the 280. I mean, if this winds up dripping against us, or I guess dropping against us here, it's definitely not dripping. That was a pretty aggressive move. Congratulations. Someone said they had shorted the top. That's great. I mean, I didn't have any idea that that was going to be the top, but looks like you may be right on with that one. Remember, we're getting out on a 280 break. That was always the plan. So I'm not going to change my opinion or my trade idea just because we have a little bit of a move down. I will try to get some out, however. If we can get back up to 280, 130, 280, then yeah, I think that would be a decent area to get something out and then be able to let's ride back up to the top side. If it does happen and if we do start to bleed down, fine. We'll turn, I guess, a winning trade into a losing trade. But, you know, I was playing this based on what we had sort of saw yesterday. I know there was news yesterday when we had sort of broke that, but the whole market really took off into the close. So we'll see if they have that ability to do that again here today as there goes Tesla. Thank you very much for that reload. We just reloaded it. Right there at 280.60. So we've got about $1 from that reloaded spot. Let's see if we can get a little bit more out here at 50 as we start to climb right back up to the upside right there today. Today's the NVIDIA day and Tesla day for me. That is for sure. Let's wait to see what happens with Tesla and go over to Adara and see what's up with that.
We have a ton of names reporting earnings after the bell and tomorrow morning. If you want to keep track of them all, check out our implied earnings moves infographic on X at TTV Research. I have organized the expected moves of some of the biggest names reporting earnings tomorrow. Yes, there are a lot of them. Tomorrow and tonight. So we have Robinhood expected to move about 12%. Moderna tomorrow morning expected to move about 10.5%. But W taking the lead here, a 14.5% expected move tomorrow before the bell. Again, we've got Meta and Microsoft reporting tonight. And as you can tell here, interestingly enough, eBay and Microsoft have almost identical colors in their logos. So fun fact, who knew? You can find out all these more fun facts and what these earnings are actually going to move tonight at 4 p.m. Eastern on our Trader TV Live Market Recap show with myself and Sharif and Sean. Back to you.
Jadar, someone asked me, a couple people have asked in the chat, if you're not familiar with what the imbalances are, every open, every close in the U.S. markets and most markets worldwide is done via an auction. That's how you get the opening price and the closing price. So in an auction, everyone puts in either market on open or limit on open orders. They throw them into the book before, if it's the open, 9:30. And if it's the close, obviously we don't get a print until 4 o'clock or maybe a little bit shortly after that. What these imbalances are the early orders that are going in specifically. I have New York, NASDAQ, and Amex up, specifically going into the closing auction for the US markets. And this look is simply at the current moment, like I'm just using the AMCR because that's what I'm trading. At the current moment, there's 13 million in balance and 32 paired volume. So if you add that together, there's 45 million shares worth of orders into the auction. And if they had to pair all of those limit and market orders currently, there would be a net imbalance of 13 million to buy at the current price. So if they had to try to close it, whoops, and my imbalance locator is gone because I clicked away from it. I want to do that. Click on the symbol. If they had to close it right now at 14 or 15, I think they do it buy and balance, they do based on the bid. Then it would be a buy and balance of 13 million shares at the current price. Now, based on the research that we have, Okta is an addition to the S&P 400, and AMCR is an upweight in the S&P 500. Both over $1 billion worth of shares expected to buy. This is Okta, much more thinly traded, and I don't see it on. We don't get early look for NASDAQ, so I can't confirm right now it's going to come out of buy. But AMCR is indicating an early buy. That's why I'm sitting in it. Pretty much the only reason why I'm sitting in that bad boy. So hopefully that makes sense to you. We do have a video that you can check out that we made a while back on the imbalance locator. So I know we talk about it really quickly and highlight this every single day, but you do have the ability to go in and look at our imbalance locator video, which is a good one. We've done 2 or 3 of them, and it's free for us here at Real Trading because it's piped right into our system. But you can have, if you have e-signal, it's out there as well. You can entitle to it. Your broker should have it available. If you're getting live level 2 quotes, then in theory, you should be able to get that feed as well. But we show it to you live anyways, pretty much every single day. We're out of that other tea.
I got a peach one. Is that what you're looking for?
Oh, it's on the other side. Yeah, our side's out of it.
All right, there we go. What? No, I think it just ran out. You want me?
No, I literally had the last peach one here like yesterday.
You didn't tell anybody, Neil? You know, we got to refresh that. You know,
Kill the Joe, make some mo.
Yeah. Where's that from?
That's from Terry Tate Office Linebacker.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I love those ones. Those got to come back, right? And the guy used to be working for Old Spice.
He did Old Spice, don't you?
All right, I think so. There it goes right there, man. Now we are now $1 back in the money as, hey, man. All right. There's Tesla. I mean, I cannot believe we bought the bottom, but we did. And we bought it the first time. It actually bottomed out 2 more times after that. And now, when moon we ask for Tesla, let's get going to the upside again, man. This has been just a great afternoon, a great day of trading, and couldn't be happier with the way the show's going, with the way everybody has really sort of come together here. We want to thank everybody that's part of the chat, and that reminds me of something that we should probably do right now. Let's do a little bit of roll call because, you know, this is something that we started a long time ago. Sharif does a hell of a job of this on the midday show, and we brought it back into the recap show, which is where we had first done it, and I want to thank Sharif for bringing it to the mainstream. Sharif, thank you so much for that. But let's just see who's here. Hey, look, if everybody wants to do this, let's wave to each other. Hi, everybody. My name's Sean. What's yours? So we're gonna have a quick little look at this. Say hi to everybody. There's over. Let me see how many people are here watching right now. Get into the chat. You got to hit the like. You got to hit the subscribe if you're gonna wave to us right now. 6,000 of you. 500 likes. Oops, I never hit the like, so let me do that right now. Now we have 550 likes as there goes Tesla. Now $1.30 in the money, $1.70 the money on NVIDIA. There it is. There's all the high. Hey, what's going on, Erie Pages? What's up, Mr. East? What's up, Ella? T-Daddy is in the building. MLN is here. Wow, okay, now we're getting going. What's up to Zion? What's up to Drops Trades? What's up to Frederick is here as well. What's up, Frederick? I love that name. What's up, Tanya? What's up, Nephew? Hey, Nephew. Hey, Sean spelled the wrong way. I see you in there. That's nice to see you. What's up, Joseph Brown? Hey,
Viper is in the building as well. Look at all these waves. Oh my. I like the mix there. We got a little bit. We got Simpsons hands in there. What's up, Syncor? What's up, Lars? Is that my guy Lars over there? What's up, Yoder? I don't know, Joe Williams. What's up, Roti Man? I don't know.
I saw
what's
the
up?
same thing.
Yeah, what's up, Halim right there? I love Roti.
Smokey, wow.
What's up to Smoke Bowls? No, that guy's not in there. What's up, Butterstocks? What's up, Daryl Flinch, one of our first ever guests on the show? Where's Chef Joe? We brought Chef Joe into the show a while ago as well. That's it. Let's get it over with. That's roll call. Thank you so much for that. That was a lot of fun, man. We do like to see everybody out there supporting us. And there it goes, man. We just doubled the likes as well. So thank you so much for all of the continued support here on the show, man, as we just have a great time putting on trades, man, and hopefully, you know, having a good time. We talk about how trading is a lonely game, and we're glad that you guys are here with us enjoying everything that we have to offer. So thank you so much, and thanks for hitting the like and the subscribe, and you know, keep it running right now. And yeah, Trader TV rocks, and we couldn't do it without absolutely all of you. So we want to thank you all one more time.
Yeah, new NYC Abernista, always we're here with you in the afternoon. Whether you watch it morning, afternoon, evening, we'll be right here for you. And by the way, just so you guys know, just to get this out of the way, I know the aftermarket show usually goes to 4:30. Meta doesn't report till 4:40. So believe me, we're going to be on. Like, we're going until you guys are going to see, you will see the Meta earnings as long as Zuckerberg actually bothers to report them. If it ends up being at like 6 o'clock, there's nothing I can do about that. But we're going to stay on for you guys because that's what we're all about here. Make sure you guys get the news whenever you can, for sure. Deep Tranquility, I want to get to your question because this is actually a pretty good one. Your question in balance pairing got pushed out by waves. Can you see and tell me why that happens? So I'm hoping that I'm getting this right by what you're meaning by that. The imbalance gets pushed out by waves, meaning you get big chunks at specific times where the imbalances change. That, in essence, is true. You get certain times on the hour, 2:30 is a big one, 3:15, and then after they're disseminated at 3:50, 3:55, 3:58, 3:59 are all big times where you get major pairing events. So before that happens, like I said, if we break out 9-10, I'm in about 10% of where I would want to get on this stock. If it breaks low, I'm jumping out of it because the imbalance went down from 28 million to 14 million on the stock. I only want it if it's going up. If it's breaking lower, then I don't like that at all. But where you can also see the imbalances if you don't have it is over with eSignal. And the best thing about eSignal is it's a month free. Well, maybe that's not even the best thing. I mean, the best thing about it is the reliable quotes, the ability to backtest, the customizable features, level 1 access, the ability to link up to many brokers and do trading live, API access so you can automate your trade. Again, scanners, whatever you happen to prefer. You like VWAP, pull back into VWAP. You want to see the trade rate, what's actually popping off, use the trade rate. You want to see how the stock moved at 9:30 because it was going too fast for you, do the tick replay. All of it in one place, reliable. If the market's open and it's moving, then eSignal is working, and that's just been my experience with it over the years. All in one spot. Scan the QR code. It's 1 month free, so you can't lose. Like I said, you can have level 2 access and you can trade live. I have like a swing long thing. There's all kinds of setups that you can have. The one I use the most, I actually pop out, which is the trade rate. That's why you don't see it here, because I pop it out to make sure it's on my screen at all times. NVIDIA, Tesla, TQ, SOXL, PTIR, which just shows up there every single day, it feels like, and I don't know what it is, so that you are trading the things that move. And as I said, access to the imbalance locator, which should be at almost any broker. But my rule was I want this thing growing. It was just 28 million. It's now 14 million. So if that continues to go down, I'm not adding to it while it's going down. And if it breaks a low, I'm jumping out of it. But it's this and Okta that are supposed to be over $1 billion to the buy side that we're expecting. Again, just because it's supposed to be a buy doesn't mean it's going to come out a gigantic buy. But that's what I'm playing for.
Yeah. If you guys are going to the Jays game, catch me there. Catch me outside, and we'll have a good time there. I think we'll be at the Corona Bar.
Who's pitching? I don't even know who's pitching.
Dude, I can't even name. Like, I'm being serious. I know there's Barrios. It might be him. For some reason, we paid Scherzer. I have no idea why that happened. And then we have Gosman.
Yeah. Yeah, Barrios and Gosman are our two best pitchers. So
for me, and Barrios is
Well, they're all struggling.
Yeah. Yeah, the Blue Jays there. Crazy that we're like one of the richest teams and yet have had pretty much probably least amount. I mean,
For
even
dollar?
small market teams like KC, even Cleveland putting up some numbers right now for a while. We got to do better, man. I don't know if it's our system or what, or if it's just the management, but they've been a disaster.
It's 100% the management.
These guys haven't won anything since '93,
100%
and it's
the
like it's
management.
crazy. But anyways, okay, let's keep going on there. It'd be a good time, man. I mean, the Jays are a great time, great opportunity to go to the games. I love it. I was asking Neil, like, when are they going to open the dome? It'll be closed today. It's a little chillier here today. Yesterday we had 80 degrees here in Toronto, and today I think it was it 15 or so outside right now? I went for a couple walks. Yeah, it feels, well, we're saying 11 right now. Let me see. You know what's an actual, yeah, it feels like 13. I don't know about you guys, but we live here, and the feels like versus what it is always different. So why the heck do I care? Like, why when it says it's -10 but feels like -20? Just tell me it's -20. Like, I only care about what it feels like.
It depends on the wind chill.
No, I know. No, I get
Some
why it
places
happens,
are-
but who cares? Like it feels like -20. So you know what the temperature is? -20.
I got 2 cents too. What about taxes? When you're about to buy a product, I wish
Taxes?
they would just tell you how much it actually costs instead of it being like $9.99.
Right, yeah.
It said,
Well,
no.
because why would they want to do that?
So in Europe they do that.
sellers don't
Exactly,
want
they
that.
should.
Yeah, they do that in
sell
Europe
it
where
straight.
you'll see the tip will be
They do it
included,
straight.
taxes will be included, and all of that.
But
Thank you.
we
That
know
is-
why they don't do that here.
That is the Chilean nightmare. So what's up to Fabian, doing great work for us.
Yes.
And again, we're about to go through a pretty big renovation up in here. So Fabian,
That might
there-
be an understatement.
Fabian's doing some measurements, getting it all figured out for us. So thank you, Fabian and Ramin and Andre and everybody that continues to work behind the scenes for us. Again, we're putting up record numbers every single day, and we want to thank everybody for that. Now are already 1,000 likes. So again, we've doubled the likes since we asked. So thank you so much to everybody for that. All right, more out of NVIDIA. Look, guys, I mean, we're just ho-humming this, but this is $1.50 in the money. I don't know where our positions went, but I'm still in. So, Mr. Fabian, I just gave you all the credit in the world there, but our position board is now down. All right, so we'll watch out. We are getting lighter and lighter on this trade to the point now where I'm not even sure how many shares we reloaded. I'm going to say I have 15% left at a maximum right now. I could go back and do the work, but it doesn't matter how many. We don't even discuss the shares. So all I'm trying to tell you is I have about 15% left there. So that's $82.50. I mean, we just cleaned it up all the way out. That's $2 from that bottom. So yeah, we're pretty happy with where we're at right now. You know, with our day. So let's just continue to go upside and see where this market wants to close. Maybe we do get this nice move higher here into the close, and that would mean NVIDIA needs to go as well. So I'm going to put another offer at 107.60 for NVIDIA and see if we can get up there with only 8 minutes now until the imbalances, but your boy's cooking.
Yeah, keep letting it cook. I just took out the low on. I said I was going to, if we bounced off 80, we'd just get out of WW. I really was just trading off the 90 level, which I didn't even take the other times it got there. This one might be, look, I'm favoring shorts whenever you fail $1 on this thing. So tomorrow, I think I give it one more chance. Maybe you can get back over, but if we close, we are going to close underneath $1. If we open up yesterday, tomorrow, underneath $1, I'll probably be looking for the short instead of the long on WW. Much better long yesterday than it was today. Long was a disaster, able to get something back on it. I got half of it back that we lost going long. Yesterday was much, much better. So the imbalances are in 7 minutes here. Not much has changed. For a split second, Pfizer psyched me out by dropping 25 million on its imbalance, but that's now back to 2.7. Remember, aftermarket, it's a bit of a murderer's row. Meta's the last one, but they're not the only one reporting. We got Robinhood, we got Qualcomm, I think is almost right away, like at 4 p.m. We're going to get them right away, and then Robinhood's going to be a big one, no questions asked. But Meta is rallying along with the market going into earnings. I don't know if it gets green, but it's certainly trying to go. Constantine asks, can I look at Intel? This may be the first day in a long time that I actually did not look at Intel once today because SMCI and AMD were moving around so much, or like all the other chip names were moving a lot. And Intel, relatively speaking, good percentage gains. It's closing above 20. it's still very much in the same range as before. Like, you're not convincing me that we're not retesting the lows until we can break that 50 period again. So if it can't get above like 21.5, 22, it just feels like we're still testing those lows. They get a bit of a pass for the new CEO because he probably needs a few more quarters to see how things are going, but it's not a good start at all for them. And unless I think the lows are good. You can probably still play off those in the 18 halves, the 19 range. They're still good. They're just not giving you any oomph right now, which unfortunately for Intel, that's a really, really bad sign. Because when you're bleeding like this on days like today, the idea is you're supposed to get outsized gains, right? Like if you're a weak stock, you should have an outsized move to the upside like AMD does, not what Intel's doing, unfortunately.
5 minutes. So there's our in VWAP. I should tag Brian Shannon, get some more love here on X. There's VWAP, 105.80 on NVIDIA. So yes, it is real. 107.60. Our best out is 107.80 for $2. We just got that 60 offer that we said we were waiting for. Now we wait for Tesla to moon even higher. This is the earnings report that we're talking about. So let's go over here and just have a quick look. Go follow us at Trader TV Research to get this. So you're going to see here, very nicely done color coding there, Ms. Adara, but you have 14% there for Wayfair. We'll see if it gets what you need. That's tomorrow morning. Of course, the largest one there. So we start right here with tomorrow morning. You see the little line right there is where you start tomorrow. CVS, Moderna, Eli, Lilly, McDonald's, which is near the highs. That's a great one as well. Sirius, then you got Roblox, 8 a.m. Wow, Roblox tomorrow morning, aight. And then MasterCard. And then tonight, man, it's going to be a great one. We had eBay on there. We had Brian Shannon talk to us. No, it wasn't Brian. It was Steve Tileman from Trade the Pool, which is right there. Make sure you scan that QR code. He was on with me on Thursday, and he talked about eBay last week, so we'll see if that one can do anything today. Microsoft, Robinhood, Albemarle coming through there,
MRA,
and then Meta. So where's Softy? There's Softy. Oh, Softy's only at 4.6, eh? Okay, so not too much expected there for Microsoft. It's going to be, in my opinion, be more than that. So we'll see if that outpaces. So if you are looking at options and that's all that's implied, I think you can get something there. Wow, we are mooning. Our net right now is mooning right here. And, you know, shout out to Greensville today. Glad to be back there. We talked about what we were doing the last couple of days being red, and here it is right now today. There it goes, man, 282.95. Let's go. This is now $3. Well, it's $2 now, but we're going to see if we can get above. There's the out at 283. We just grabbed that literally right now. Our fill there was 282.95, so that's starting to moon, net starting to moon, and Tesla starting to go higher as well. So, yeah, man, everything going, sorry, not Tesla, NVIDIA. So Tesla's a beauty. Tesla right here now, I mean, Sharif was right here when we took this first trade. It's now $2.50 in the money. To go with NVIDIA, that's $2. So there goes NVIDIA, there goes Tesla as we continue to climb. I mean, and to me, it's not rocket science, man. We put this trade on. We talked about not putting it on yesterday, but today we do. So that's where we say, you know, learn from not your mistakes, but from your past experiences. And we did that. We thought Tesla had a chance to go upside. It did drip down, but remember where our stop always was the 50-period moving average. So we didn't even really get too close to being shut down. Instead, we average in and we take it and we go. This is what a trade looks like when you believe in it. And we believe in it today with Tesla and NVIDIA. And thankfully, today they worked out. Sometimes I believe in them and they don't, right? So that's a good move today. We're pretty proud of the way these have traded there. So thank you so good. Thank you so much, Pro Day Trader and Jay Lee and everything. So if you guys just continue to ride this long, I don't blame you. But the market right now is absolute. Like, what's Palantir, 120? No, 118. Okay, I'm surprised it's only 118 as it's not even at day's high yet. So that dipped all the way to 1. Like, if I noticed this, talk about another trade right there just falling right into your lap. I mean, again, completely different styles, right? I've traded 3 names today. I don't know how many names you've traded, but only 3 names over here and very, very focused on those 3. So I did miss Palantir. I probably should have been there.
Yeah, you just got to trade your setups. Like, at this time of day, I'm looking at the imbalances, no question. Like, it's, would I ever trade AMCR outside of this? No. there's a 0%, not 0.001% chance I trade it if it didn't have an imbalance action today. So I'm going to take that shot at it. Jameson talking about Nike. Look, the market's bouncing with only 1 minute to go. Realistically, the NASDAQ has a solid shot to go green today. I don't want to jinx it, but we're at 0.3 down on the NASDAQ. The ES is 0.27. So we basically round-tripped it in here. And you're running, there's a little bit of a turn coming in here, so just watch out. Like if the imbalances were to come out to the sell side, it wouldn't surprise me. I don't like the fact this is pairing off huge, but actually getting smaller again. So I'm declining to add to this AMCR until the other side of the imbalances, because it keeps on getting smaller. I don't want 10 million. I want this to be 20, 30, 40 million to the buy side. I don't want it to be single digits. I'm expecting a huge number, not a minor one. But if we do get a sell imbalance, profit taking is in the other direction and you're at that high. Don't know what it's going to be, but I would probably strongly suggest every single day we've had imbalances on NVIDIA, at least a few million. I think you're going to see one here today. But I'm focused on AMCR. I want this coming out bigger than the 10 million. Actually, just pick me up. When it got smaller, it just picked me up. I got some out in front of VWAP there, but I want this coming out bigger than 10 mil. 3 seconds to go. We'll see what they are. My guess is NVIDIA is going to be the biggest one out of the Mag 7. There it is. 5.5 million to the buy side on NVIDIA.
You have to be kidding.
Lucid doesn't matter. Okta is supposed to be a buy. That's a sell of 2.7.
We're 350 in the money on Tesla. This is just absolutely the dream of a day finally here. There goes Tesla, man. We had just bought this stock a half hour ago. It's now $3 in there. We just took a nice piece out. Look at that NVIDIA right there as well, because we were on it. It comes out. Huge trade again today, man. Only to have held the position that we had earlier today. But you know, that's trading, right? You get in, you get out, and you know, at the end of it, we had 4 digits of a position down there at this time, but that's why we scalped it out so fast. And then we're able to load it back, and we didn't put on, like I told you, we didn't put on the same amount of shares again back into there. But there goes NVIDIA. Nice move there to the upside again for that. All right, let's have a quick little look there. I don't know how your AMCR wound up turning out. It comes out exactly what you wanted and more. So I would assume you're kind of going ham on that.
No, it's supposed to be 130 something million. It's only 16. So
you said 10 million, I think it was.
No, it was 10 million. It came out at 16, but it's stalling a VWAP. It was expected. Remember, 125 million was expected. So I'm taking, like I said, I'm taking profit in front of VWAP. It's not nearly as big as I was expecting. And OKTA, I believe it was Okta, came out the wrong way. Okta was also supposed to be over $1 billion to the buy side, and Okta is actually a sell on the NASDAQ. So this one might be a flip trade, although on the NASDAQ that can be a little bit tricky because the way you throw the auction is just a little bit different. So I've already scalped out some in front of VWAP. I'll have some at the high there. Not nearly what I was expecting. I wanted to see way bigger on those numbers. So every single penny, I think, I meant to go 21 and 22. So that's what I'll do, get some out of 21 and 22. As far as Okta, the other one that we're expecting a big buy, it's actually going up with that sell imbalance. So they're calling fugazi on that sell imbalance of 2.8 million because it's supposed to be a monster buy. My guess is it's going to flip, but there's no edge if it's going up on the sell imbalance. The idea is you'd want to be buying the dip if it was a sell, and then when it flips, you get profit. If it's already breaking the high before it flips, I don't see a trade there on that thing. So it's just going to be AMCR, and that's not perfect. Only 16 million is not big compared to what we're expecting to see. Like that's 134. I wanted to see at least 30, 40, 50 million to the buy side. It's a little disappointing. It's going to be a winning trade, but it's still disappointing in terms of size.
Okay, just putting up this trade because this was a VWAP trade. We'll tag our friend Brian Shannon. Again, good luck in New York, my friend, as he takes down the Educator of the Year award on StockTwits. So a big shout out to Brian Shannon for doing big things and joining me every single Tuesday on the recap show, my good friend, Mr. Brian Shannon. Okay, yeah, man, things are just getting better and better. So NVIDIA just keeps on going, man. We're now $7 in the money overall on these trades. And these are trades like, it's not like these are old trades. This trade we just put on here for Tesla, we looked at it yesterday, what it did in the closing at minutes, and it was ripping. And it didn't actually even cover up until the end of the day. So there's NVIDIA, there's Okta with a sell.
I thought I saw some Big Bear AI, but maybe that's gone off now. I actually got to go in.
It flipped.
I want to buy some Big Bear AI actually in my account before that report comes through. I didn't even realize they're reporting soon. I might buy some of that ASAP right now. But yeah, we're long NVIDIA, we're long Tesla. It's working, man. 350 in the money. I'm going to take out another piece here of Tesla. Okay, it just fell back a little bit. All right, let's go. I'm at 04. There it is. We take that piece out. Another one at 284. So we're long Tesla under 281, and it's at 284. So yeah, let's go.
Yeah, shout out to Trade the Pool. Why? Because we all know the saying, big opportunity comes with big risk. But what if it wasn't true anymore? Trade the Pool is redefining what risk means for traders. No more risking your life savings to prove yourself in the markets. They give you access to company capital, up to 200 grand to trade real stocks, no CFDs. And your downside is limited to a single one-time fee that starts at just $47. That means no blowing up your personal account. You get to trade with serious buying power, all while knowing your loss is capped. Trade the Pool now offers an unlimited time during the evaluation. You get the freedom to trade your way with no time pressure. Visit tradethepool.com and see how far your $47 can take you. Scan that QR code you see, check the link in the description. All right, so it's 355 where I expect things that pair off a little bit. So there is that AMCR. It was 16. It's now 10. It just paired and it went right into the local high, which is at 22. Math is fundamental. Why did I not even, just sitting on the offer? No, I thought I'd put it all out in the offer and still have some there. I thought we'd got it all out. I'm just going to try an offer on BY. So again, it'll be a good trade. It'll be better than anything, at the end of the day, like I'm not going to complain. It didn't break that low, but I expected this to be much, much bigger. And I think if it's 30, 40 million, that's when you get the push past some highs. But profitable trade is a profitable trade. Like I'm always just looking like, okay, when we get a winning trade, what did you risk on it? What are you losing on a losing trade? In that regard, it's better than any lose that I had today, which is fine. But I was expecting much, much bigger out of this. And Okta, before I get up to the desk, because it's past 355, Okta no flip trade. Not going to be touching that one. I don't even see it here anymore. It did pair off, but it's not. It wasn't about whether this could pair off. It would need to pair off and flip to a gigantic bid. So there's no trade here when you're expecting hundreds of millions. I don't even see it over 1 million shares. That's a nothing burger. You want it to be like NU that one day, where it was big and it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. That was like about a year ago. And Palantir did a similar thing when it was added to the index. So that's what it's all about. But yeah, we'll end on a winning note, which is all it's about here. Good luck. Hold on to those trades. They're bangers to the upside. But remember, Meta, 440, that's a little bit later. Qualcomm is right away. So it's going to be earnings like right off the bat at 4 p.m.
I have $1 that it's before 440. You want to do that?
I hope. No, I want it to be. I'm not betting against what I want to happen. I want it to be before 440.
I think it'll be 415.
I hope so.
Okay, so get ready for the market recap show, man. Yeah, we're just getting out of NVIDIA right now, so thank you so much to everybody watching. Hit the like, hit the subscribe if you have yet to do that. Right now, you have Sharif coming through with Adara and Neil coming out, giving you that market recap show, and then tomorrow it'll be myself again, and we're just gonna keep on doing this, man, every single day. There's no better place to look for earnings than right here. There's also no better place to look for trades than right here also, every single day, man. Today, like, I've only traded 3 names, like I said there, but we have over 200 fills. We probably have way too many fills, and yeah, but I'm pretty happy to do it. Nice move to the upside right there, and when we're putting on shares, we do have multiple outs, and so really happy with the way this day has gone. I've doubled my net here in the afternoon. So more than that, actually, this afternoon. So we're really happy with this Tesla trade. And Tesla just rockets right up the board, obviously, there. So that's a nice move. Tomorrow, we'll try to hit it with more shares, though, than we did. But you know what? At the end of the day, if I hit it with, let's just say, a couple hundred shares right there, and then it comes down against me, I wonder at what point do I get out if I have more shares? So that's the thing. Sometimes being a little bit more like versatile, and if I'm holding less, then I don't get as anxious and maybe don't punch out. So there are different things about all of that. But the NVIDIA trade, we had enough, said enough was enough, and layered into this one. And absolutely, like I said, the biggest NVIDIA trade, bar none ever, put on right there. And it was just lucky that it started to go up. I was just getting frustrated. We were above, and there it goes blasting higher. Even if we lost on it, we were going to lose, I think it was 20 pennies. It still would have sucked. But glad that that didn't wind up happening, and NVIDIA moons here into the close. All right, we're about a minute out right now. Yeah, Hood. So let's just go over some of the names. So Robinhood's going to be a monster. That's going to come out right around 4 o'clock, 4:05. About 12% implied move. We have done the math. If Robinhood gets anywhere near $40, I think that would be a good start of a buy. Just kind of like where I said about Tesla. You know, although Tesla was down here, when Tesla was at 231 day before earnings, I was like, take a shot, buy 10%. If it goes up, great. If it doesn't, then you're going to get that downtick that you need where you could buy it. Hood, I kind of feel the same way, but we're already near the top. So I would almost say the other way around. If you think Robinhood's going to have a bad report, put on a little bit now, because this thing could get into these levels if it does miss, right? And so now with only 30 seconds to go, Adara's red finally gets broken. So there it goes, man. The NASDAQ is now up 0.2%. So apparently the second time, so it's no longer a thing, as the NASDAQ goes from down almost 3% to Greensville, as does the ES. So we're all over the green top part of this. Man, I feel like this beer and hot dog is well earned today. We're going to have some fun at the Jays game. Shout out to VinFast. Thank you so much for your sponsor. 3, 2, 1. And that is a wrap. So now we're done. Qualcomm is already out, $2.85. Qualcomm's starting to go. There goes Robinhood right there at the end of the day. Let's just check out Qualcomm. Then I'm throwing it immediately over to the guys because it's already out. Qualcomm downside. Mr. Hood looks like it's going upside right there to $50. Robinhood printing right now. Enough of me, more of them. Ciao. Thanks for watching.
Very much, Sean. Welcome to the ProfitX Market Recap Show. Yeah, Qualcomm already out there. You've got, they got the guidance as well. So they beat on Q2 expectations for earnings and revenue, 2.14 to 234 versus 233 for the guide. That looks, that's not good. That's bottom end of the range. That's probably why you were down at 146. But there's actually a bit of a bounce happening in here, Shreve. But simultaneously, I want to get to, I feel like people are going to be out there. It's all good in the hood. I mean, look, nothing against Qualcomm, but obviously Robinhood flying to the upside, probably a few more people interested in this. Qualcomm's going to be an interesting bellwether stock, but it might not be something a lot of people are invested in or trading very heavily. Robinhood just blew through the 50 level and now starting to come back in here. That I don't see the number. I don't see any numbers out for Robinhood, and it might just be if it's fat finger or people getting ahead of themselves. Remember, on the daily chart, the local high is right here at 51 bucks. So there's probably some sellers in there, especially if we don't actually have the numbers out just yet. So the biggies, obviously, Microsoft, which just boomed to the upside as well. There goes Softy. They're through 410. This is now 20 bucks from the lows, as Microsoft is absolutely flying to the upside. Again, I'm not even seeing the numbers on Microsoft yet. I haven't seen them on Robinhood either. We did get Qualcomm numbers. They're disappointing right now. The guide was kind of a problem. But Microsoft flying almost 420 bucks here, Sharif.
6%, Neil.
Just like that, as quick as you like, my friend, you're back above the 50-period moving average on the daily in Microsoft. So what is dead may not die, and Microsoft is certainly flying here. This hasn't even updated on the percent gain, but you were up a nice clean 5. Now, obviously, we're expecting a 4.6% move on Microsoft, the smallest one. Right now, looking very, very good. It's about 5 points to the upside, which is kind of on par here.
It's taking out the $10 level, Neil. 420 is just getting blown through here. 422.50. Again, guys, we have no information yet on Microsoft, which is, by the way, a little early. I'm not sure if someone's front running this or anything, Neil. I've got my platform open up here. We've got Benzinga as well opened up. Go ahead.
I opened the old you-know-what machine, and I'm seeing EPS beat 346 versus 322. So they beat on EPS, and their revenue $70 billion versus expectations of $68.4 billion. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, here I got
Beats
from
top
Brendo.
and bottom from Microsoft here, but the guidance. Are they going to guide, and what is the guidance? We don't know that yet, but it's flying 6.5% up. That is more than the expected move. Looking very good here for Softy.
All right, great look here. Thank you, Brendo, for that Microsoft Q3 Intelligent Cloud revenue. Obviously, we talk a lot about Azure. They're one of their biggest moneymakers. Revenue of $26.2 billion versus the street's expectations of $26.17, Neil. So an easy beat there. Q3 EPS, handily beating as well. 346 is what they printed. The street was looking for 322. As you mentioned, Neil, revenue $29.9 billion on estimates of 29.6. So not a huge beat there, but a decided beat nonetheless. So keep an eye out on that. And their Q3 Azure and other cloud revenue, excluding Forex, the Forex headwind, which they've been suffering from lately, 33% year-over-year increase. That takes them back into the 30% spot. They had dropped below 30 in the prior quarter. The estimate there was 31%, Neil. So beating easily again. Microsoft, fantastic look. And they've been weak lately.
Yes.
Let's call it honestly. 2024 wasn't a great year for them. 2025 didn't start off that well either. Good to see them back above 400.
No, it's very good to see them back above 400. I just saw in the chat someone saying, why is the stock sell tanking? Well, it's Qualcomm's fault. It's that plain and simple. You saw at the end of the day, you can't blame anything on NVIDIA, which was at the highs. You can't blame anything on AMD. All the chip names were booming with the rest of the market, but Qualcomm, unfortunately, they're guiding lower right now, and the market's not taking it very well. We're down 5% on Qualcomm, down to $140, actually making another leg lower. You're not at doom and gloom levels. Qualcomm was trading at 120 at the beginning of the month, but certainly a rejection here, and this is what it's about. The guidance is a problem. You know, you're not going to get away with your guide being weak here, unfortunately, because the EPS beat 285 versus 281, and it was 1084 on revenue versus 1065. It was the guidance that came in light here for Qualcomm, and that's why they're heading to the downside. Robinhood so far so good. Microsoft so far so good, although I just heard Robinhood numbers are out finally.
Here we are. Let's talk about it, Neil. Net income. So the amount of profit they took home, guys, $336 million for Q1. Revenue, $927 million, Neil. Q1 EPS, 37 cents per share. I don't have the comps at the moment. They're coming in as we speak. Let's click this one, see if we can get more information. Oh, goodness, it's this one again. Now, so again, guys.
Meta, let's go.
Meta's already out?
It's over.
It's over.
Zuck,
Sean got his dollar.
Last time this dude, I wasn't betting against that crap. You know I wasn't betting against that nonsense. Last time Zuck was late. This time he's early, and it's spectacular.
I got it, Neil.
We got the numbers out here, but Meta is already through $570. Huge move up there. And NVIDIA's also flying.
Neil, this is a hand beat. If we can go to my screen, please. $6.43 a share EPS for Meta. The street was looking for $5.21. That's a blowout quarter, Neil. Sales, $42.31 billion in revenue. That's almost $1 billion higher. The street was looking for $41.39. Fantastic quarter here for Meta. And Meta's been absolutely demolished lately since losing that $600 area. We actually were trading in the high 400s, believe it or not, not that long ago. Zigging and zagging, though, here, Neil. Only up 2%, moving up to that 580. It's back down to 565. We obviously know the aftermarket has a wide spread, so you're going to see these aggressive price fluctuations, but you can't really argue with this kind of print.
You can't argue with it at all. And the funny thing is the guide's actually right on the midpoint. Like, it's dead on. 42.5 billion versus to 45.5. That's 44 mid. The expectation was 44 billion. So their guidance is pretty much spot on, which in this market, beat top bottom, they're going to like it. But NVIDIA also going higher. My first thought is, have they? We wouldn't know anything yet about the CapEx spend. We wouldn't at this point, but it doesn't matter. NVIDIA is flying. A bit of a pullback here. You heard it just, if you heard any exuberance now, it wasn't just all about Meta. You got to 112 there on NVDA, already ending the day pretty brilliantly, but that went 109.5 to 112.
Unbelievable.
Meta
Fantastic
flying.
Look. Yeah,
Microsoft flying.
Look.
Robinhood, however, Sharif.
Robinhood, not so much, Neil. It's dropping back down. Look, I still don't have the comps. We've got the results. I don't have the comps. Dara did actually send me the comps, so allow me 1 second over here just to find that. She had that prepared. Okay, so for Robinhood, guys, we were looking for 32 cents per share. They printed 37, so it was an easy beat there. In addition to that, revenue, $898.6 million was the estimate. They printed 927. So another beat there. The implied move, though, for Robinhood, guys, and again, that takes us to tomorrow morning, 11.8%. The previous move, 14.1, Neil. So this one's shown its propensity to really move after earnings. Kind of undecided right now, going a little negative.
And remember the story, it's not just about whether you beat top and bottom, it's what the market, price don't lie, everybody.
Absolutely.
And for now, resistance on Robinhood up above 50, it's real. It's real, and it's come back into play big time. Like, look at the acceleration. First, we wicked the 50 level, and then the acceleration the second time through. Like, there was an attempt to hold it above $50, and the second it failed, we saw 47. It's trying to come back now. As it bounces, look at these big levels here, 49 and 50 even. How does it respond on Robinhood? But like
CapEx
everything
here.
else, we finally have the CapEx there on Meta. Well, I can tell you Meta pulled back, trying to go back higher, but it pulled back into 556.
Yeah.
And the buyers didn't step in until about 560. They're trying to hold on to this bid here in Meta.
All right, here's what we're looking for, Neil. Full year 2025 capital expenditures between 64 to 72 billion dollars. That's up, guys, from the 60 to 65 billion in the prior outlook. So they're looking at spending more money. And this is good if you're Nvidia, if you're SMCI, if you're Dell, because that's where they're going to be spending, as well as, of course, these recent, what are they called, data center REITs, because obviously you're going to need to rent space. So, Neil, they're guiding up to $7 billion more spending. The range here, 64 to 72. The previous range, 60 to 65.
Yeah, I think the big winner on that's going to be, look, the big winner is going to be Nvidia.
Agree.
Reality, because you wanted to see more spending. But there's two ways to look at it too. The fact, if you're willing to not up your guidance is at the midpoint, and if you're willing to still up your CapEx spend, there's some confidence there that you're not it's not all doom and gloom.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So to me, like, you're under, like, we'll see what happens in the conference call, but at least you're under your breath pointing out here, hey, the guidance isn't bad.
Not at all.
We're still going to spend on CapEx. We want to make sure we're not getting too far behind. We don't think the worst case scenario is happening. Otherwise, why would you be continuing to spend more? So I think that's a good sign. NVIDIA absolutely flying off of this and looking fantastic there. Let's go over to the screen. We've got Adara.
Probably one of the biggest metrics to watch out for,
That was awesome.
for any social media company when it reports earnings is ARPU. That's average revenue per user. This infographic tracks Meta's ARPU from 2011 to 2023. I've not yet updated it to reflect the 2024 annual data. But as you can see here, near $50 billion in average revenue per user for fiscal 2023. So significant growth. This has been contextualized here as well with all of the company's acquisitions, starting with Instagram in 2012. And then we get their acquisition of Giphy later in about 2020. This is, of course, just the major acquisitions the company has had. And these acquisitions have taken on a very different bend as of late. We know that Meta is currently facing an FTC antitrust trial. So pretty timely here. Interesting stuff. Check this out on X at TTV Research, where we're posting cool market news and infographics for you every single day. Back to the news.
Thank you very much. I like that. It's all about that ARPU. Hopefully it's not our poo-poo, because we own Meta shares. We want to make sure that still stays up there. Great look there, Adara. We do have numbers on eBay. It's not all roses here, because eBay, man, like everything else, everything else that wasn't Qualcomm, it was actually heading higher. Now actually threatening to go red here is eBay. Another stock that's doing a bit of a reversal pattern here. It doesn't matter if they buy it up early. Can they hold it late is the only thing that matters here, Sharif.
Here's what we got, Neil. Q1 adjusted EPS, guys, of $1.38. That beats $1.34 the street was looking for. Sales of $2.58 billion. The street was looking for $2.55, so a beat on the top and bottom line. Let's talk about the guide, though, for Q2. Q2 adjusted EPS, Neil, between $1.24 to $1.31. The estimate was $1.29, so a little bit lower than the midpoint there. We'll see how this ends up being reacted to. They also see sales, Neil, $2.59 billion to $2.66. The street wanted $2.6, so a little bit closer to that lower end was the estimate. So a nice higher sales guide there, Neil.
Yeah, well, the problem, I'll tell you right now, the problem. If you own eBay shares and you're wondering, why is it so bad? Why is it headed to the downside? Quick question, Sharif, did you list your shoes on eBay?
I did. They didn't sell, so I gave them to Neil.
Well, there you go. But they didn't sell on Facebook Marketplace. No, nothing against eBay there, but It is what it is, man. We keep it real around here. Facebook Marketplace.
I don't remember
is
the last time
fantastic.
I bought anything off eBay. I'm not gonna lie. I don't remember. When's the last time you bought anything off?
So there was it was Lego.
Okay, fine.
So there was, and actually I didn't do it personally. I bought something off somebody who bought it on eBay.
Gotcha.
So they got a whole collection. Some guy was selling all of his like Lego Star Wars, and he had.
cool.
I got the Superstar Destroyer. I got a great deal on
Something
it
super
during
niche
COVID.
kind of thing.
Oh
right?
yeah, like they discontinued that years and years ago. But yeah, not looking good for eBay. I just want to quickly show you the daily chart because the good news for eBay here, I don't want to linger on it too much, is it's inside its range for the last couple of weeks. Right? Like 65 bottom, 69 top. Like it's not breaking down on those numbers, but it's also not breaking out. So a bit of a nothing burger, unfortunately, for them. I wanted to get back what just happened, Meta. Everything is so crazy that, there we go, hit enter twice. Meta's still hanging those highs. So they like it. They like it a lot here on Meta. It's only 3 points, but you've got to put things in perspective sometimes. You know, this is, unlike Microsoft, it's just trying to battle that 200 period here, right? So you're a couple of dollars, $5 underneath it. This needs to go. 580, 579, that's a big level. You go up to 590, that's a big level because that's going to be the 50 period moving average. So essentially, Meta's just gapping to the first moving average and trying to chew through. What happens next is important. This is why Microsoft is so darn impressive right now. Microsoft is holding these highs above the 200 period moving average on the daily. That's a big one. It's consolidating above it. So look at the gap here. I mean, I don't know if anyone trades or still trades in the aftermarket earnings. My take on anybody that tries that trading strategy, like it's a difficult thing to pull off. I know a lot of traders that lose a lot of money when they get stopped out, but be careful. You lose that bid, you have a hefty gap back into the 400 level. So, you know, sometimes you can take your win. The 6% is absolutely fantastic.
Just before we go to Adara, I wanted to mention that Meta CapEx that we were talking about, it's specifically going to be for data center investment to support artificial intelligence. I don't think we really needed to confirm that. You know, that's where they're spending. But the question is, was it going to be Reality Lab spending or AI spending, or are they converging now, Neil, enough so that they can be kind of blended in? So the CapEx outlook that I guided you before, specifically here for artificial intelligence, a couple of days after they announced a standalone app for Llama. Previously, you had to be using that either in WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger as well. So it's going to have a standalone app to kind of rival X. I do think, though, Adara is at the green screen.
I am. We're going to talk here about these expected moves for some of these earnings names. Meta reporting a lot earlier than we were expecting, doing a reverse of last time when they reported much later than we were expecting to see. But Robinhood, by far the largest expected move of the names that reported after the close. But let's slide over to the May 1st side of this infographic, shall we? Because there are some big expected moves tomorrow. Eli Lilly here with about a 5% expected move on the lower end of things. But Wayfair, W, 14.3% expected move. Roblox to close second here tomorrow with a 12% expected move. So you check out all of these expected moves and the names that we're expecting to report tomorrow morning on X at TTV Research. Interestingly enough, too, a lot of these names are reporting earlier in the earnings season than we normally see. Eli Lilly and McDonald's usually report at least a couple weeks after these Meg 7 names. So interesting stuff. Check this out on X at TTV Research for all of your earnings and other infographic and news-related needs. Back to you.
Well, I know on the trading side of it, I don't know what's going to happen to Wayfair, but when it comes to volatility, Wayfair, you've got just what I need and every other trader needs. Because they got that good short float, as does Moderna. So I'm not pontificating at all about the viability of either one of these companies. You can say whatever you want. 16% short float on Moderna. That's going to be a big one in the morning. But I saw a lot of people, and we were just chatting about this. Why is Amazon up? Look at the move on Amazon. You got to think about it this way. Sympathy to Microsoft because Microsoft's cloud number is good. Amazon presumed good as well. Then you think about Meta and advertising. Well, Amazon, same bucket, so they get the drag up. You're literally sympathy to both names that just came out with good reports. So Amazon holding up very, very nicely here. Even though we don't get them to tomorrow after the close, clearly there's some exuberance going on here. I would have been really concerned. Like,
100%.
obviously, if Meta had come through and disappointed everybody, I think Amazon would have also flushed. Like, this is one of those easy sympathy type plays. So understand that that's why they're up. There is no specific story when it comes to Amazon. This is just what we're seeing here, dragged up by both Microsoft. And speaking of coming back up, looks like Robinhood's catching a bit of a bid.
A little bit.
Like this thing, look, man, this is why people tell you don't trade in the aftermarket.
Oh, God.
You are just going to get whipped around and pimp slapped left, right, and center. Like you're playing front hand, backhand like on Key and Peele if you're trying to figure out what's going on with Robinhood. And it's, you don't,
I love it.
you want to play some front hand? I wouldn't play against you. You can't play against a dude like this
Stay
guy.
in the face. No, I mean, that's a different one. Neil, if we can cover possibly here Albemarle, I hope I'm not killing the pronunciation of that name. Here's what we're expecting, guys. So we're moving up nicely here. We're up 0.91, a lot higher than where we closed out on Albemarle. But here's what we were expecting. 62 cents negative loss per share. We ended up losing only about 18 cents per share, so it was a beat there. On revenue, Neil, of 1.17 billion, we got about 1.1 billion. So it was a little bit of a miss on the bottom line, but on the top line, a beat on the bottom line. The implied move, guys, 6.4%.
Yeah. Last
Last time around, it moved about 3.5% in the positive. Right now, barely positive. Neil closed out, I believe, the day before yesterday at 59.50. Today closed higher, about 58.75. It did wick up to 61, right into 60 now as the market digests the report.
Yeah, remember, big lithium name here, Albemarle. So obviously it hasn't been good as EVs have been getting punked to the downside. This has been trending down heavily. It's got a 12% short float as well. But you know what? I got to shout something out. We have great viewers, and shout out to all of you. Remember, if you want to be in the chat, ask questions, converse with us or with our great trading community, the best out there, then you have to hit the subscribe. So hit that subscribe right now, everybody, and then you can jump in the chat. Because Joseph Birch Music is going to put me in my place, and I'm cool with this.
Oh.
I make money on these, made 3 trades on Hood in the middle of this pinball. That's what I'm talking about. Woo. All I can ever speak to is what I see on our trading floor. And you know what? There were a couple of traders that did have successful trading strategies in the aftermarket. What usually would get people in trouble is the level of discipline needs to be a lot higher. Because if you decide I need to get out of something, there can be no hesitation in the aftermarket. And if there's even like a little bit, in the open market on some of these stocks, you'll probably have a heartbeat. You won't have it here in the aftermarket. So kudos to you that you're able to make. And again, it's look at the rapid fire action. You could have shorted that 50 level. You could have been, the longs have been tricky, I'd say, with these bottoming tail wicks, but the shorts off the 50 level look pretty good over there on Robinhood, which is still trying to find its way. Technically up. I mean, it's up since the earnings have come out and since the close, but it's got lower highs and kind of weirdly, oddly enough, like a bottoming tail candle and a higher low going on. So it's still trying to figure itself out over there on Robinhood. So we'll see what happens. And that's another one, Racer X9. Your sizing, it will be dramatically different. Like you're used to trading one size on Robinhood in the open market. In the aftermarket, you might trade a tenth of that. Because liquidity is so different. I remember, look, when I saw somebody, I saw somebody live 2 years ago get caught in Qualcomm. And Qualcomm was absolutely ripping, and they had big earnings. They had a big earnings beat top and bottom. The guidance was good. And then all of a sudden, somebody starts chasing it down with like 10,000 shares, which you're not going to get filled in the aftermarket. And you could just see it bleed the stock down, chase it down. By the time they got filled, the stock had gone red, and that person had gotten rinsed. Probably they fat-fingered it, right? They fat-fingered it and couldn't get out. And what was going up, they turned the stock themselves. And obviously, if they traded a reasonable amount of size, they would have been just fine because it would have continued to go up. So you got to be careful. And Qualcomm, by the way, somebody's selling it at 142. That's what I wanted to point out.
It's a very aggressive move down. Neil, I want to cover this a little bit more from fundamental side. I've covered this during the midday with Joseph. So Apple, if I can go to the screen over here, widely anticipated that they will include their new C1 modem, which is basically a modem chip for 5G in their next iPhone series, the 17 that is. Until now, they have been exclusively relying on Qualcomm's chips. So Qualcomm beat on the top and bottom line, Neil. It was the guide that was light. I wonder, I'm speculating, I'm not asserting
I like where you're going with
that this is possibly a headwind that they will not have Apple as a main customer for this specific chip. This is what I'm looking at on my screen being reported by Apple Insider, but widely reported everywhere else. And you can see it here, stock falls on outlook. Report strong performance. As we mentioned, they beat on the top and bottom line, but selling off aggressively here, down almost 5% here in the aftermarket now.
And I'll say this on Qualcomm, when it gets to a level that the big money is showing you that's being sold, respect it. Because the daily chart has been telling you this for a very long time at 175, and then we were just topping out at 150. The technical levels on this are insane. Like 175 top, 150 bottom, break it, 150 top, and right now someone's selling the boat at 142 in the aftermarket. So that's a key price for tomorrow for sure. But the Jedi is back in the chat.
I like it.
We're back, baby. The mag is back. Well, they better be. We still got Amazon tomorrow, but so far we got the good going on because Meta did it for us and Microsoft did it for us. So right now things are looking absolutely fantastic. You saw Tesla have a great run today as well. If you're still even including them, let's be real. But I don't like this for Qualcomm. That's the real blemish here. Robinhood, we're not sure about.
Yep.
It's kind of figuring itself out. And we've seen this from Robinhood before. Look for more direction tomorrow. I know a lot of people, myself, Sean included, want to be trading Robinhood. Right now, I haven't got enough information out of it, but certainly the Mag 7 name's looking absolutely fantastic.
Amazon's taking out highs here, Neil.
Amazon,
it's almost at 190 here. It's up 1%
the mag
when
is
it
back.
goes red. Yeah, great call out there. I want to mention one thing. So we talked about Meta's CapEx, what they're looking at spending for full year 2025. But what we got from Microsoft right now was how much they actually spent this past quarter. Microsoft, Neil, spent $16.7 billion in capital expenditure, about $500 million more than the street was expecting. We were looking for 16.2, and that is a huge increase from what they spent last year. They spent 11 billion. Now they're spending 16.7, almost 17 billion. So the capex continues here, Neil. If you were worried that it might dry up because of DeepSeek and everything else and the efficiencies, if it is, it hasn't quite yet.
Well, also remember, they are deathly afraid of falling behind.
Agree.
Right?
And what your friend Jensen just said
You
today.
cannot fall behind. It seems like every week we're getting some other, I guess, breakthrough or another gain. I mean, whether it's Alibaba or Baidu, they're talking about how their engines are doing fantastic and cheaper, they say, than what you're getting over in the U.S. They can't fall behind, and they're continuing to spend. But I still believe the other side of this. Like, would they really be continuing this big, massive spend if they were doom and gloom and they didn't think deals were going to get done?
No.
I think this is a good signal that we're making progress, and maybe they know something we don't. They got the ear of the administration. Maybe they know the deals are coming through, and they have not been hesitant to continue their spending. Because if you think you're heading into a recession, there's no way you're increasing CapEx like that.
That's the thing. That's
right?
the thing, right?
Come on. These guys, they usually know. I'm just saying. They usually know, right?
Let's talk a little bit about how Microsoft did per division, Neil, since we're getting more information as the time goes by here. So productivity and business processes. So like your Microsoft Word, that includes Windows as well. $29.9 billion in revenue. That's up 10% year over year. Intelligent Cloud, aka Azure and the like, $26.8 billion, 21% year over year. Now, Intelligent Cloud doesn't just only include Azure. Many other things are included with that, hence why this is a 21% year over year increase as opposed to the 33 we reported earlier. More personal computing, $13.4 billion. That's up 6% year over year. Not a bad look there. And Microsoft, total cloud revenue, so that's everything. That's Azure, Intelligent Cloud, $42.4 billion, Neil, up 20% year over year. Chief Financial Officer Amy Hood said the cloud revenue growth was driven by continued demand for our differentiated offerings. So they're not selling what everybody else is selling, Neil.
No.
According to her.
Well, and the crazy thing is you've probably heard me, like maybe not as much anymore because we don't talk about Softy as much. You've probably heard me say that they haven't been able to monetize very well. The pickup has not been going great when it comes to Copilot. When you're talking about integrating into Office, not as many people have been using it as I think people have expected. So it's been languishing a bit. I think it's a really good sign. This is the strongest move here for sure. And Los Pollos Hermanos.
Hey.
Shout out to you in the chat. I love it here. Meta's still to report at 4:40 p.m., right?
No,
LOL.
you're late, brother.
No, well, he's joking around because last time, and I appreciate everybody that last earnings season stuck around till 4:40, whatever it was, when they finally reported it here for Meta, because Zuckerberg just couldn't get it on time. And this time they tell us that it's going to be 4:40, and it ends up being, what was it, like 4:05? We'll take it. But the important thing is someone asked about the guidance here. I just want to reiterate, Meta did not even guide higher.
No.
Like Meta guided pretty much like if you take the range, it was right at expectations, the midpoint at 4.4. So at the end of the day, we always talk about how big and important guidance has been. In this particular case, that wasn't even the story here for Meta, and it's holding higher lows. So look at these dips. This is not doing what Robinhood is doing. Every dip, we've had higher low after higher low. It's attempting to put one in right now, so don't at me if we lose 565. It hasn't happened just yet. But the buyers are stepping in, and they're stepping in a pretty nice consolidative way aftermarket. And tomorrow, look, we're not out of the woods yet. We just said, and we got the super chat from Jedi. Appreciate that. Mag7 is back. We still have to get through Amazon. Look at that.
Apple.
We got Apple as well. We have to get through. Amazon holding the highs. Amazon's actually holding up the top even better than these other two names. And Apple, ho-hum. I mean, it bounced about $1 here in the aftermarket. Kind of a muted move for Apple, but the rest of the Mag 7 doing great.
Want to give them more information here, Neil, about the report on Robinhood as more trickles in. So here's the deal, guys. Net deposits for Robinhood, the amount of money they took in, grew. They're holding $18 billion now. Not a bad record. That's a record for them. Now, gold subscribers, remember that? When they have that premium service, 3.2 million now gold subscribers. They also increased their share repurchase authorization up from 500 million to 1.5 billion. That's not a bad record there. We'll keep an eye out on that as the information comes in, but not a bad look there for the gold subscribers. You have to assume that's a high margin product. I mean, gold subscribers, I mean, I don't know. I don't see that being thrifty. You know what I mean? So we'll keep an eye on that.
Well, I'd assume not. I think you're dead right on that. Dar in the chat. Ooh.
Hey, Dar.
Hey, what up, Dar? Why is Alphabet up? Well, I feel this. Look, it's going to be the same story. So if you ask why Amazon is up and why Alphabet is going to be up, just think about the sympathy plays. These big guys are all in the same places, right? Like advertising revenues, Meta does well, Google does well, right? Cloud business, Microsoft does well. Like there's only 3 names in cloud, effectively, right? Alphabet happens to be one of them. And when it comes to advertising, it's Meta, it's Alphabet. While they're different models now, and lots of people have made the argument that for Alphabet, lots of things are changing. It's still going to run in sympathy. So like Amazon, it's holding those highs. I actually look at the funny thing. If you were just pure trading, buying the dips on where Meta and Microsoft were dipping, and then so you take that dip and buy it, you've actually done better holding higher lows on Google and Amazon than you have in the others. Why? Because there's less direct volatility because they weren't the ones that report. Sometimes sympathy plays are a good way to express a trade.
Very true.
There might be a little bit less risk. I'm not saying everyone go run out and trade Google here, but we've seen it here with Alphabet and we saw it here with Amazon. An unbelievable earnings session. Unfortunately, I know Qualcomm didn't do too well, but I'm going to venture to guess that most of us don't own Qualcomm in our personal. You probably own the index, which it'll be, and maybe you own an ETF that it's in. And anybody that has it has been pretty nasty. It's right down at the lows, but Meta, booming. Microsoft, booming. Robinhood,
Yeah.
okay for now. But the thing about Robinhood is we know what it can do tomorrow if it can just hold the bid, right? If it can just hold green, it's at a major resistance spot that I think everyone's looking for the 50 breakout. And when the selling comes in at 50, there's just a lot of people profit taking. I mean, the stock was just at like $31, right?
Only one Mag 7 name now remaining in the red. Well, Google's like break even. Yep. It's Tesla down 3%. All the other Magnificent 7 are either in the green or about to go green. Not a bad look here. So it's nice that, the 2 big ones, Microsoft and Meta, help pull things up. I hope that creates good sentiment for tomorrow. Another pair, Amazon and Apple, going to be on the aftermarket show, Neil. And then who will we have left? NVIDIA always reports late.
NVIDIA is always late. You always save the best for last when it comes to earnings season. And believe me, NVIDIA is always, that's a Super Bowl of earnings. Whether it moves or not, certainly everyone looks forward to them for sure. So we're fortunate today, and Meta came out early, so we didn't have to wait around for it. But you know what time it is, everybody. I already heard the siren. It's like, the siren came on there. It's time for roll call. Now, usually, at this moment, a dare is in the desk. And I'd say we're going to get a dare for roll call, but I'm going to do it myself.
Hey.
I'm doing it myself. But you know what we got to do first?
What do you got to do?
Everybody has to make sure you're in the chat. Because if you want your name read in roll call, it has to actually be here. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Do it now. Get in there. Give a big shout out to the to my main man on the desk here, Sharif. The infographics all day long, dropping news for you, Adair. My man Sean on the desk, trading up a storm. We got Joey options here at Trader TV Live. We have Obi filling in whenever we need him. We have Fabian and Ramin making us look and sound good every single day. And believe me, we got Bears versus Bulls.
Oh, yeah.
The #1 moderator in the entire universe.
Bang.
In the universe, Bears versus Bulls.
that.
So let's get this. And Adam, what is roll call? That's where you drop your name. I see Adam in the chat. I see Brown Lightning, Butch Concepcion in there, Ivan Delgado. We got Toss X. We got Sharif's left bicep. What up? Toss X, why you kicked my dog? Old Dog 67, YOLO Fire, Stevenson 18, Robocop, Daryl Flinch, what up? SA, Mr. John, Marlon B, not cool. France S, Tommy Ellis, Pelican, Master Cool, not cool. Joseph Brown, oh my goodness, I can't even keep up with it. Marcio Romano, we've got John Haggerty, I can't even keep up with you guys. We appreciate you so much. That's a D-Lo from the chat. Sir, I gotta stop it right here.
All right.
Sir Poopy Paper Hands, what up to you as well? That is roll call. We always have a blast around here. Why no love for the right bicep? Why it gotta be the left bicep?
I don't know,
idea.
man. I'm not sure. Maybe he likes it better. I got no idea, but I do love these troll names. They're very endearing, guys. We love you guys. Thank you for joining Neil and I today on the Market Recap Show. Send him off, Neil.
And the best part about it, everybody, here at Trader TV Live, if the market's open, we're here.
Bang.
If it's moving, we're covering it. If news is dropping, Adair's got it for you. And we're doing it all again, bright and early, 8:30 tomorrow morning. We are Trader TV Live, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Take care, guys.